I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where do we go?
And S.O.W with empty Hennessy bottles up on the shelf, cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out they soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing but not facing the facts that as an work is hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we was some
Alright, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Alright, welcome to Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge for you online. We're at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77071. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to 40 Experience for the Kids every Sunday from 11 a.m. to noon on ISB HBK Kids. Alright, write that down, like, share, and subscribe. That's ISB HBK Kids every Sunday from 11 to noon. 2443. In between classes, you can also text or call Priest Kazakia at 281-727-2737. And also, if you need to correspond with us about any part of, any kind of outreach programs, jail programs, anything like that you get connected with, that you want us to be a part of, you can hit us up at Hidden Truth 12. That's Hidden Truth 1. You can send those to any of the school locations. Also, if you have any monetary donations you want to give, you can put those in your local Wells Fargo account. It's account number 101-580-6167. All right, one more time. That's account number 101-580-6167. You can put that in your and we'll have the sisters will make you some beautiful custom-made garments to your liking. You just put in your order with them, and they'll make you some custom-made girdles, armbands, headbands, and garments. But we'll leave that little bit of lag time for any kind of questions. Oh, so they made it worse last night or yesterday?
No, he didn't fix anything.
Yeah, he switched it out with their motor. All right. So far I don't see any questions. If y'all got them, just go ahead and throw them in there on the live chat. It's all good. We're gonna get into the reading. No questions in class though on anything. All right. We're gonna get into the reading. We're gonna start at Numbers chapter 13, verse 1, and you're gonna read through verse 22.
So you had this?
Yeah.
Numbers 13, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Numbers chapter 13, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Send out men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. So it Numbers chapter 13, starting on verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Send out men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. And Moses, by the commandment of the Lord, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names: of the tribe of Reuben, Shemuel, the son of Zachar; of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Horah; of the tribe of Judah, Khalil, the son of Jephunneh; of the tribe of Issachar, Agal, the son of Joseph; of the tribe of Ephraim, Oshia, the son of Nun; of the tribe of Benjamin, Paltai, the son of Raphu; of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodai; of the tribe of Joseph, namely of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadai, the son of Susai; of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. Verse 13, of the tribe of Asher, Shetha, the son of Michael; of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabal, the son of Vosi; of the tribe of Gad, Guel, the son of Machir. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy on the land. And Moses called Oshia, the son of Nun, Jehoshua. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountain.
Right, so you see Hosea, right? His name got changed to Joshua. Right, so a lot of times you've been hearing these names and you just hear them as, oh, that's Joshua, oh, that's Gideon, oh, that's so-and-so. These guys had they had different names before, but their name got changed spiritually. Abraham, he was Abram, right? Gideon was Jerubbaal, right? And he had a few other names. So you see that we had these different names based on our our characteristics, and then also as things change for us. All right, as holy men, the Most High would encounter us. They would say, you know what, your name's not going to be this anymore. It's going to be this. All right, Jacob, your name's not going to be Jacob anymore. Your name's going to be Yasharallah. Y'all see that?
Got it.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 18. And see the land, what it is, and the people that dwell it therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many. And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be a good or bad, and what cities they be that they dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. Slop. Verse 21. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rehob, as men come to Hamath. And they ascended by the south, and came unto Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. Verse 23. And they came unto the brook of Eshau, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between two upon a staff. And they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. The place was called the brook Eshcol, because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence. Verse 25.
Oh, no, you stopped at 22.
Stop 22? Oh,
All right, so any questions on that?
Nah.
All right, so when you read verse 22, and they ascended by the south and came unto Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. All right, so when they came unto Hebron, they met the children of Anak, or what they call the Anakim. All right, these are giants. This is one of the names of one of the families of the giants that were still around at the time. All right, so when you get to if you notice, these are the ones in the promised land where we were supposed to take over. All right, and spoiler alert, we're gonna jump ahead in time. We end up taking over that land, obviously, right? We took over the land of Canaan. We whooped these giants, right? So these were not angels. These were not angels having sex with men, and then they had these giants. Otherwise, these men would have lived forever. They wouldn't be able to be killed. You understand? All right. So yeah, you have the Anakim. He's going to show us, later on about the Zamzumim and these other different types of families of giants. There was tribes of these giants. All right. Goliath of Gath. He was of those tribes of the giants. He was the remnant of them. All right, and the dude was 18 feet tall. He was just the remnant. He was the runt. All right. So yeah, we had these giants just to show you. We had giants back then. All right, they was everywhere. At one time, we was all giants. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. So somebody Lakarabi will come up for the next reader. You're gonna start at Numbers 13, verse 23 through 14, verse 10. All right.
Lakarab, Shabbat Tashal, Ban Yamyam, Ban Yashrala.
Lakarab, Shabbat Tashal, Ban Yamyam, Ban Yashrala. I imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Brakatham. So once again, for y'all online, if you have any questions, you can always
hit those up during the course of the class, all right? If not, we're going to keep going along.
Numbers chapter 13, verse 23 or 25.
23. Start at 23.
Numbers chapter 13, verse 23. And they came unto the brook of S.O.W, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between two upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs.
Right, so right here you're seeing that when they went in there, they got one cluster of grapes, and two men had to carry this cluster of grapes on a staff. All right. So what kind of people have to eat grapes that are this big? All right. Cause y'all held a cluster of grapes before, right? It fit right about in the palm of your hand. So whose palm of their hand was so big that two men had to carry something that fit in the palm of their hand? Alright? What's that?
And the funny thing about it, like when I was in the military, we was over there and we had to get some food from Egypt while we was ashore. And believe it or not, those foods are still like that today.
Those what?
The foods
Yeah.
are still like that today.
Really? Where at?
In Egypt.
In Egypt? Dang. Wow. I didn't even know that, man.
Like the globe grapes look like plums. We had cabbages like size bigger than basketballs.
Dang.
Carrots look like little like mini bats. Like seriously.
Yeah, and that's it being decreased in stature. Y'all see that?
I don't know if it's related or not. I mean, I went to like Mexico one time, and I mean, the land of the giants. If the grapes are that big, everything must be that big, right? I went to Mexico, and there was this grasshopper that hopped out that was like this big.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm not even lying. I'm not exaggerating. No, I'm like, I know it's not food or anything, but like the land of the giants, you know.
Oh, grasshoppers were food.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You gotta just jump on that with both feet.
Border Patrol wouldn't let me take it home.
Right? Yeah, you got crazy. Yeah, I gotta travel more, man. Cause I know down in Honduras, some of them leaves was like, as big as their car.
Yeah.
And it would be just one leaf from the palm tree. So it was a trip, and then
The library.
Yeah.
They're like right next to there's what's the Beck Steakhouse or something like that. There's a big 400-year-old tree, and it's huge. It's like goes on for at least like I don't know, a quarter.
Yeah,
It's big, but the branches are like.
How big is the trunk? Because I just seen an interesting story that made me really question science.
I'm gonna say maybe like 10 to 12 feet wide.
10 to 12 feet wide, and it's only 400 years old, right?
Yeah.
Because see, they said they found this mosquito trapped in the amber of a tree.
Yeah.
It's a bird. They like this thick.
Yeah, you gotta count the rings every year.
Yeah, I'm like, how you get a 100-million-year-old tree that's only about this thick? The tree should be the size of the damn block.
Exactly.
Yeah, or as big as them other ones that they got those pictures, the aerial view. It looks like a mountain, but it's actually a cut off tree. You can see it.
Yeah.
It should be that big, but they got it out of a tree, and the trees around it is only about like this big. Well, the tree would have to be that old.
Only trees and lobsters are immortal, man. They should just grow every year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, lobsters don't. They're immortal. Because they just shed their shell when they're uncomfortable, and they move it. They grow a new one, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But that's the thing, and then they don't want you to believe in like Leviathan and stuff in the Bible. It's like, how big?
Barrels like went down like 10 feet. That's it.
Yeah.
Barrels.
Yeah. So we haven't been going down there. You know what I mean? We've barely been discovering the deep.
Right.
And now they want to act like they gonna tell you, hey, this don't exist. Like, come on, man, stop it. the city underwater. Oh, we seen a mermaid. We see they on everything, man. They see humanoid topped animals with tails and all this stuff, and then they see. Yeah, I'm like, y'all went and found the Little Mermaid.
With nukes, like with the submarines, we can only go so far.
Yeah.
We'll reach full crush depth.
Crush depth, yeah. Yeah.
Pressure.
And that's where the whole weight of the ocean is on your little vessel. Our Jack Picard. Yeah, Picard, because they named the guy from Star Trek after him. Yeah, but that guy, he was the first ones to go like, any kind of far down there, and they started cracking up. I think around what is like 2,000 feet or something like that, or 2,000, 3,000 feet. They started the hole started cracking. One of the windows broke. I'm like, and what's funny about Esau, man, he still went down further. One of the windows, it was like the outer window cracked. If the other window would have cracked, the whole weight of the ocean would have came in. That's all it took.
They actually used to play a video for us before we used to go out to sea.
Yeah.
And they said they really had sacrificed the whole crew. That's why we know how far we can go. And you can hear the people crying. You can hear like when the schools.
Oh, watch that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that way you always stay alert, and then like when they say man your bad station, you know not to play around with it, because one wrong move you can only go butt down. You already underwater.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause if you go so far, even if you release the baddest tanks, you're not coming up.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dang.
That's why he said don't go down. That's why he said don't go down there.
Then he shoot, and he got animals that can fly higher than any plane. So
Yeah, I don't know if you was here when we read about Leviathan, man, last night. But yeah, they said his scales, they're impenetrable, man. His scales, they can't be broken, they can't be penetrated or nothing. So he goes down there, and they got him on a tracking device about as far as going about 6,000, 7,000 feet, and then the tracking device broke. But he went down faster than any creature they ever heard of or seen, and faster than anything man-made could have done it. Yeah, they hit him with that tracker. That thing was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, just like that. Boom. As fast as you can count it, he was going down thousands of feet. And the thing was so huge, it said he would have basically he could have ate a blue whale. Could have like easily ate a blue whale.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Talking about with the Mariana Trench. I'm like, I've been researching that for years. You know the big megalodon dinosaur shark?
Yeah.
60 feet long.
Yeah.
They think that was it too. They were thinking it might be that the thing that you're talking about, the Leviathan. The Mariana Trench, we can't go down there because it's so deep. That's the deepest part of the ocean. It's like 6 miles deep.
Yeah.
And they think that the underneath, like, all right, there's a cold spot, and then there's our water, and underneath the cold spot is the warm spot. They think all these dinosaur fish are underneath there.
Yeah.
And they theorize that if it gets warm enough in the middle, that the sharks can come up and get into our ocean.
Yeah.
And anything else. And the earth has been getting hotter every year. I mean,
Nice.
that thing that you've been talking about, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I saw the video on that too.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, well, it's the biggest thing that we've ever seen. It's bigger than anything.
Is that the one where they shot the blood and stuff in the water?
Yeah.
For like 5 miles?
5 miles.
Yeah, you seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to still swim and stuff in the water when they got sharks over there. Oh, by the way, I just want to give out a safety message. Galveston has necrotizing fasciitis. Galveston, a bunch of public water in Texas. We just found that out yesterday.
What is it?
Necrotizing fasciitis.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
that's why I never get no water.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's in the water right now. So if you get in the water, you have a chance of your skin melting off. So just fair warning.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick to the public pool then. I gotta worry about his little 4-year-old toddler pee all day, you know?
Bathtub pool.
Yeah. Well, right on that.
The kids were about to go out on the beach when they found out.
The water.
We were lucky.
That's nuts, man. Esau done screwed up the whole water system, man. Actually, the scriptures say the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, man. That's everybody on the earth been screwing it up, because our people the biggest ones want to eat the shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, and everything else out of there, and know better and don't care. Y'all understand? We're the first ones in the hospital with diabetes and heart disease and everything like that. And then when we get to the hospital, we say stop eating these things, and we don't even want to give those up. The same things that we read about in the Bible, don't eat that. We the first ones that want to make it a delicacy. Beside the Koreans and the Chinese, man, they insane with that. They eat everything in the damn water, man. Then they serve it in a bowl. They serve it to you in a bowl, and it look like you just. It looked like you fishing in mud. Yeah, I remember going to this Vietnamese restaurant in Colorado, Long Bend. Yeah, they serve you this big giant bowl, man, and it's all brown water. And you dip your spoon in there, you dip the fork in there or something, and you come up and you got a squid. You didn't even see it until it got to the. Yeah. Yeah, you just eat the head and start chewing it up. Yeah. Well, they no holds barred over there, man. I mean, at least they have things.
On a red shit diet.
Well, they don't eat it with all the additives added to it. They just straight up grab it and eat it raw. You know what I mean? The grapes and everything, how big those were. You know, just to show you, there was giants in the earth in those days. The earth was created to sustain giant human life. All right, so there's no way you're not seeing that this was introduced by angels. You understand? The earth was already created to sustain giants. That's why it says in Genesis 6 there.
Because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence, and they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the land whither thou sentest, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell but not there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of.
Right. So when they went to this land, they saw the sons of Anakim, right? And they were like, and these spies that went in, right? It was 12 spies that went in, but 10 of them was talking about. Well, listen, the Amalekites is down over here, and then the Canaanites over here. We can go fight them, right? They want to fight people on equal footing. You know, see that? It was right. He took his armor. He tried to give it to David. David was a child, about 14, 15 years old at the time when Saul took his armor and gave him to fight Goliath, who was about 18 feet tall plus. All right. And again, this was the remnant of the giants. So at Moses' time, about 1,000 years before David, these giants were still huge, man. They were still walking and stomping the earth and shaking the earth. Matter of fact, it said that we look like grasshoppers in their sight.
Verse 31. But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they.
Wait, verse 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. So Joshua, Caleb, these men was like, yeah, and let's go do it right now. We got 600,000 footmen, man. All these are some big giants. They already had the faith. They already had the strategy. You understand? They're big giants. They can't reach down to get it. All down. What the hell's the problem? Let's go. Y'all see that? But no, they giants, man. Let's go to this city and that city. Y'all see that? Faithless, man. Doubtful. You got that in Israel to this. And they brought them out of got them kicked out of Eden, man. They started doubting. Y'all see that? So this is what they did, man. This is another way we lose everything that's promised to us, man. We lost Eden this way. We lost out. These men, this generation, lost out on their chance at the promised land. You understand? All through doubt. Where you at?
31.
Verse 31.
Go ahead.
But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched on the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sights as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
See that? So we were in the, look at what they're saying. We were in our own sight as grasshoppers.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at themselves as small. They looked at that. They felt small in themselves. They started looking at themselves a certain way. What's that? That's that self-esteem, man. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you beat up a little dude. It's a lose-lose situation. You get your ass whooped, you got whooped by that little dude. You beat him up. Oh, you just beat a little dude, man. You're a bully.
Right.
Never mind. I ain't gonna fight you. You too small. I gotta fight big people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jana?
Yeah, you know how archaeologists are always, digging up history and all that, but what did these giants live in? I mean, what kind of places did they live in? Because all you ever see are places for average height people.
No, you don't. You go to Peru. You go to Peru. They got a stairway that's etched in the side of a mountain. The steps are about as big as each step is about as big as this building. You understand? So you gotta think of what had to use that just as steps. You look up anything ancient monoliths, even where Esau dwelt, with the Horites. You type in the Horites, Horite dwellings, and they still show you the pictures. They show you the pictures of these giant megalithic Colosseum-looking things. They look like the Roman Colosseums, the Greek Colosseums. They look like their monuments and their buildings, their architecture, etched into the side of the mountains. And the buildings are huge, man. You go in there and you'll feel like you the cockroach. You'll feel like you're the cockroach in those buildings. And this is where Esau dwelt with the Horites. You understand? But yeah, it's all over. Y'all, you add yours and then we'll get yours.
With that, I just want to add to hers. Like they say also in history, like whoever got conquered, they destroy their cities, take away everything.
Yeah.
And they theorize that everything's just been built over and over and over again. So they could have been more giant houses than what you've been talking about. Right. They just destroy them. And on top of that, yeah, the pyramids were built by slaves, but today they try and pick them up, but they can't pick them up with cranes because they're big, huge pieces like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who was lifting those up by hand?
Mm-hmm.
Those 20,000-pound rocks that the pyramids are made of, those were being walked up there by hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not doubting that there's slaves that did it, but there could have been giant ones too,
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing is that was Israel. We were still of that high stature back then.
Yeah.
All right. But we got to remember, so were the Canaanites, so were the Egyptians, so were all the other nations. When you look at the reliefs, the carvings of I forgot how to say his name, Arsubanupal or something like that. One of the kings of ancient Babylon, and also Assyria. But if you look at these steles, and they got these certain reliefs and carvings in stone, and they got one where this Assyrian king, might be Nabucodonosor or something like that. They got him, and he's got a lion, like how Karma jumps up on me. He got a lion jumped up on him like that, right, on his hind legs, standing full up, and the lion only comes up to his neck, standing full up. All right. Then they got another one where he like Santa Claus. He's on the 8 tiny reindeer. Well, when you look at the ancient what do you call it? The ancient carvings of what's his name? Not Nebuchadnezzar.
Nimrod.
Nimrod. He got a whole deer right here, like a kitty cat. He's holding him under his arm with a tree. You understand? He's holding a tree in one hand and a deer in the other hand, like this. You see that? Now you gotta wonder. We look at it. We don't really think nothing of it because we all seen them before. But when you really analyze, you're like, that's a whole deer. He got it under here like a puppy. You know what I mean? Even if it's a baby deer, that's still big to have right here. The things ain't puppy size, man, when they born. You understand? And then he had a tree in his other hand. We're looking at these carvings. I don't know if she's able to punch them up on there and find them out, but you're looking at these carvings and these things, these statues and everything like that, and these reliefs they call. All this stuff is carved in stone. Iraq, who've been living there for 3,000 years, right? All of a sudden want to start blowing up their own stuff. And then the news tries to put the spin on it. Yeah, they're doing it because they know it's it's outside of the worship of Allah. This stuff been there for 5,000 years. They just now decided it was idolatry. Just now. And they decide to blow up their own culture. What nation does that?
None.
Even when the Chinese and the Japanese, if they start progressing and they stop worshiping Buddha and all that, they still keep all the statues and the terracotta men and all that stuff like that. They don't be like, oh, let's blow these up. This is idolatry. You understand? There's Christians and everything like that over there and taking over the country even, but they don't start blowing up the statues. Why? Because those statues ain't black men. When you go into ancient Babylon, ancient Iraq, ancient Mesopotamia, those statues are black people. You understand? So they blowing those up, shooting faces off, breaking them down and everything like that. Why? Because then we ain't going to be able to say, you know what? We are the oldest civilization on this earth. We started all this. Y'all just got here. Job was right. You're younger than I. Y'all see that? So that's why they're doing that, man. This isn't ISIS, man. Whenever you look at any of the ISIS videos, watch the way they stand, watch the way they walk. Then when you watch actual Muslims, everybody got a different walk or different swagger to them, man. Judah got a certain swagger to him. Esau got a swagger to him. Ishmael got a swagger to him. And when you look at them and you look at those so-called ISIS terrorists, the swagger is the same as American soldiers, man. The way they stand, the way they shoot, right?
It's just hard to tell.
All that.
Up.
Well, yeah, they put the hoods on.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason you can't tell.
Yeah, but they got busted doing that when the Missouri riots was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The three guys was in hoods, and then the white guy jumped in the middle. He's like, no, stop! You stop throwing! You put those rocks down, right? And then they went. They got busted because they was about to start throwing rocks. You know what I mean? Throwing rocks at the people or at the cops and everything. They was gonna start throwing rocks at the cops and act like they was part of the crowd. And he jumped in there. No, you put those rocks down, right? And then they got all stiff, and then you see them. They walk right behind the cop line and stand behind the cops. It's like, those are cops. But you try to get them in the crowd and throw rocks at you, and then act like, oh, now we got a reason to stomp out all these people. The Romans used to do that stuff all the time, man. Y'all see that? And see, our people are too dumb to want to research history and see that the Romans used to do that. So what happened? Esau had to do it. Esau, the ones that do the research, they had to jump in and be like, hey, put the rocks down. You know what I mean? Because they look out for those things. They know their own history. We the ones that don't know. Y'all see that? It's insane, man. It's insane. That's why we try to educate y'all, man, so that way you know what to look out for. Because they got a lot of tricks y'all don't even think about, man. They got a lot of ways and setups that y'all don't even think about. You look at all of our history. We can go through the history of Israel in some other classes and everything. But you look at how they did Osceola and Abenaki, the Seminole Indian generals. You look how they did them. They had to win by tricks, man. They invited Andrew Jackson act like he signed the peace treaty with them. And when they came under the flag of peace just to talk to him, he acted like they had already signed the treaty, right? But then he locked them up. And they died in jail of like tuberculosis or something like that. Sitting Bull, same thing. Was it Sitting Bull or no, Crazy Horse? No. Geronimo, they did him like that. He died in the jail. Crazy Horse, they did. I think they did like that. He's the one that rode. They called him Crazy Horse because he got on his horse and he rode right between the lines while everybody was shooting. He did it 7 times. He said, "See, the bullets can't hurt us." And that inspired all the men to go slaughter everybody on the other side. But see, that's that kind of bravery that you're dealing with Joshua and Caleb. Let's go kill these niggas right now. Let's go. You understand? They had that faith, but everybody else was crapping on themselves, man. Oh, there's giants over there. That's stupid, man. It's faithless. Where you at?
14.
14? Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lived well, and all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt.
See, this is why the Most High don't mess with cowards and faithless people. It spreads like a disease. These 10 came back with that evil report, and next thing you know, everybody crying and murmuring and complaining. What about the 2 that said, let's kill them right now? We got this. Nobody wanted to cling to that?
Right.
Everybody wanted to cling to weakness. Y'all see that? We're going to forget about the fact that Joshua was the man that ended up being general up under Moses. We're going to forget about that this guy was counted as one of the spies to go in there, right? No, we're going to forget about all that. No, we're going to say that, you know what? We're going to go off what these 10 said. It's insane, man. People want to feed weakness so hard. Forgot the Red Sea got parted. Forgot the rock. Manna rained down from heaven. Quails came down from heaven. Oh, we can't beat them because they giants. Where you at? Yeah. Yeah, this is it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the one. That's Nimrod, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's Nimrod. He got a whole tree in his left hand and a whole deer in his right hand.
That's crazy.
Fringes on too.
That's not a bad answer either. Because he got his horns.
Oh yeah, he got full antlers, man. That's a 12-point buck he's holding under his right hand. He's holding him like it's a pet. You understand? Yeah, if you find that image, that's a good one right there, that Nimrod.
The purple? Oh, he has purple?
No, this one's in black and white, but let me see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just in color here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Verse 2. Or would God we had died in this wilderness. Verse 3. And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey?
That's just stupid. Why the hell would the Most High do all that? 10 plagues, part the Red Sea, bring you out on the other side just so he can kill you. That don't even make sense. Y'all see that?
Done.
But this is Israel's nature, man. This is that wickedness carries through with them to this day. Now, here's the thing. We can acknowledge that historically Israel was a bunch of doubtful ass people. That historically that got us messed up and cursed in every situation. Why are we not saying that back in Adam and Eve's time that was doubt that got them kicked out of paradise? You understand?
Done.
It was simple doubt, man. That's all it was. Watch, read on. You read the verse 10?
Verse 4. And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, Then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us.
See that? See, Joshua and Caleb, they seen the vision, man. They seen what the Most High was doing. And he's like, listen, man, they all giants, man. So they complacent. Their defense ain't up. They think can't nobody hurt them. We can go in there and take everything. They probably ain't been training. They ain't warriors. They just live in the land. They sit around eating big-ass grapes and everything, man. Big, fat, juicy giants, man. We can go in there and kill them right now. Y'all see that? They trying to bring this strength and this good report back to them, and then they're trying to show them the spiritual of it. Like the Most High already showed us. Look, they don't have defenses. They're good. They're low. They're ready to be taken over. Y'all see that? But, you can't convince people, man. Once they got doubt in them, it kills you. You understand? That's why I said, without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High. Once you get that doubt in you, man, you're weak. You're weak. Once you're that guy that looks at every single situation as it can't be done, nobody want to be around you, man. Not when it's every situation, you know what I mean? Okay, jump over that tree. Okay, kind of a realistic doubt. But, hey, how you gonna pay your bills this month? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna jump out the window and let my family live off the insurance. Like, really? That's the best solution you could come up with is kill yourself? Nobody want to be around that, man. It's doubtful. There's no progress that comes from a doubtful person. Y'all see that? Where you at?
Verse 9. Fear them not, but all the congregation bade stone them with stones.
Wow.
And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel.
Their doubt got so heavy, they was like, you know what? Let's kill the faithful ones. The ones that saying we can do it, let's kill them, man. We want to feed our weakness. We tired of y'all. We want people to feed our weakness and feed our laziness. So we're going to kill the faithful ones. We leaders, man. We know that to this day. As soon as you get into the realm where you're pushing and you're trying to get people to jump into stuff in faith, they want to kill you. They want to have nothing to do with you. Y'all see that? That's why we got people leave. You come in 1 week and the whole congregation is full. It's standing room only, right? And then you come in the next week and there's 3 people here because the class was like, right? Get up and do stuff. Gotta go.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's the stuff I'm gonna do at home. The stuff I can do at home.
Yeah. Have faith in the Most High and the men He put over you. I gotta go. That requires work. That requires me to do something. I don't want to do that. Thought she was gonna do it like church. I just sit here, show up, get the glory for showing up. When you gonna start swinging your coat around? I want some pastor sweat. Like, what the hell? Go back to church. And that's where they go. They go to camps that's like churches. Why? Because it breeds fear. It caters to fear. It caters to, you understand? So they go to those, man. They go to the all-white crew, the all-purple crew. Why? Because all I got to do is hang out here once a week. I don't got to be accountable. I ain't got to do nothing. All I do is show up, maybe get auctioned off every Passover. You know what I mean? I show up, and that's all I got to do. I ain't got to do no work. I don't got to put my hand to the plow. They omit scriptures like that. The plow. Y'all see that? No, we ain't focus on that. We focus on Jesus' love. We focus on making sure that that's what they do. They focus on making sure that they diss the other camps for teaching the word. They focus on that, trying to shun the old doctrine instead of saying, you know what? Let's get y'all people to work, man, because that's the only thing the Most High is going to respect. Y'all see that? Let's get y'all under the yoke and have y'all serving your masters according to the. That's our problem. We wax fat and kick. We got it. Most High fed us till we had damn quail come, right? It's insane. But it was always the Most High. Yeah, we was fed the angels' food, but it was always the Most High trying to show us, man, like, listen, I'll do for y'all what you gonna do for me. Because when we look back, when we read over these stories, there ain't no, well, why would God do that? No, why did you do that? He gave you the blessing. Why did you lose it?
Right.
Y'all see that? Like, niggas want to blame God. Why would a loving God put us in this condition? No, you put yourself in that condition. He put you in Eden. When he first put you down, he put you in Eden. You ate the fruit. Then when you got out of Eden, he put you in a nice area of Mesopotamia. What'd you do? Didn't want to keep your defenses up. Let the Akkadians beat you. Okay, that's your fault. Oh, we got out of there. Okay, put you in Shinar. Put you in Ur of the Chaldees. What you do? Start worshiping their gods. So he didn't take all of you. He took Abraham, right? And he started moving westward, going toward Canaan and going toward Egypt and everything like that. And he was getting into the Fertile Crescent, living good off the land. Then he had Isaac. Isaac was walking in his footsteps. Then Jacob, right? He had Jacob and Esau. Esau living it up, about to receive the blessing, but what? Ooh, food. Right? Sold it out. Okay, why? The Most High didn't do that to you. You sold it for pottage. You understand? What you get mad at Jacob for? Why you got hatred toward Jacob? You sold your birthright. See that? But this is the grain of evil seed that was sown in the heart of Adam. I hope whoever been texting me most of this morning is listening, because this is that grain of evil seed that he talks about in Esdras that was sown in the heart of Adam. You understand? It was doubt. Because why? That traveled all through, man. I doubt the birthright is even worth nothing, so I'm going to sell it for a bowl of pottage. Right? Well, where'd you get that from? You got that from Adam, and it traveled through, and Abraham fought it, and he was righteous, and Isaac fought it, and he was righteous, and Jacob, he fought it the other way. He was like, I know what the blessing is. I'm trying to get that from birth. I'm trying to be born first, right? But Esau had that grain of evil seed in him. He fed it. With what? That bowl of red meat. Y'all see that? Okay, you know what? I don't need the birthright. Okay, cool. Well, now it's on Jacob. Jacob had his 12 sons, right? They became Israel. Then by the time you get to Moses, what are they doing? Selling the birthright again. Giving up the birthright for giants. For doubt. For confusion. For damn meat. You'll see that? But you still got brothers trying to blame Esau for all their woes. It's like, dude, you did this. You made the same covenant Esau did. You sold out for doubt. You sold out for faithlessness. You didn't even sell out for a bowl of food that you could touch and everything. You sold out for nothing. For nothing, man. That's why the Most High told Israel that. You sold yourself for naught. You understand? See, we do it all the time. You know, as Israelites, we always do the Esau, the devil. Esau did this, Esau did that. But Esau even know that, right? You know that, right? You know what was done historically. Well, when is Israel going to accept what they did? What's that?
When I didn't know about all this stuff, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, I came from the fake Jew people, right?
Right.
And they're like, the Christians used to say like, oh, well, you kill Jesus, you people kill Jesus. And now I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, I'm being blamed for somebody else. Okay.
Right.
So people do want to blame Esau. Of course we're wrong, but at the same time, like, y'all's people killed your own savior.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's what I said. We don't want to acknowledge that, but we else, you still got cast both the Romans killed Christ.
Exactly.
No, they put the nails in his hand and the spear in his heart, but you set him up.
And the Romans, like you said earlier, the Romans were in the crowd saying, hang him, kill him, forget him.
Yeah. Well, the Romans and the Pharisees.
Yeah. Right.
That's the problem. The Pharisees was the ones inciting the Jews to put him up there.
And I was talking talking about some stuff earlier. I was looking at like the planets and everything. You know what I mean? I used to be, of course, you grow up learning about the planets and all that. You know, you ever heard about like how Jupiter has like they think Jupiter's a diamond on the inside and stuff. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But the whole point of that stuff is like the universe looks like it's unfinished. You know what I mean? It's like a creation in creating.
Right.
And what I was thinking, what I was discussing was, if we would have done right on Earth, maybe we would have got these other planets too. And they think that it's a diamond. Well, what does God love? He loves jewels, diamonds, gold, all that stuff, right?
Right.
We could have been living on other planets, living right.
That's what it's going to return to. He said, in my Father's house are many mansions.
Yeah.
So we understand that there's, these multiverse and all this stuff like that. You understand? We get that, but it don't have nothing to do with this plane of existence and how you gonna get there when you sell out your chance at that kingdom every day.
Yeah.
See that?
Exactly.
See, when you go into all that, the multiverses and universe and all that stuff like that, you go into the things people have never really even seen.
Yeah.
Well, they can't really even imagine, but when the Most High point blank outlines for you what the kingdom's going to look like and how it's going to be, and you still won't even fight for that, what's the point? What's the point of even knowing about that? You ain't going to get there.
And people want to try and blame everybody else, but if you're stealing, if you're lying,
Yeah.
if you're cheating, doing something stupid, well, you take from somebody. Well, of course, something's gonna be taken from you. You can't you can't trust other people. You break other people's trust. Well, then your trust is gonna be broken.
There you go. What's that?
I stopped blaming Esau a long time ago because if you really understand the scripture, it was already written like for us to do that anyway. But when he prophesied it to Abraham aforetime, before Israel was even Israel, and then after that, he tell us too that we have to acknowledge our sin.
There you go.
And then confess to him, then he'll heal the land and everything else. But until we do that, acknowledge what we did wrong, then ain't nothing gonna change.
Yeah, our people don't want to be like David, man. They don't want to be righteous and say, I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sins are ever before me. You see that? They don't want to do that part. It's like, dude, that's why we pray that, because we're going to make y'all agree to that. We're going to put it out there so y'all got to agree to that, man. That you got to acknowledge your own transgressions. When y'all say those prayers, it can't just be repetitive, vain repetitiveness. That's what he's talking about in Matthew 6 and 9. That vain repetition. It can't be that. Because when you're saying those prayers, you got to really consider those words, because at the end, you're going to say, Amen. That means I agree, or so be it. Right? So that means you agreeing to everything you just said. Well, are you going to acknowledge your sins? Are you going to acknowledge your transgressions? Or are you going to acknowledge that you're doubtful, that you're lustful, that you're greedy, that we're selfish as hell? Are we going to acknowledge these things? Or are we just going to keep being like that natural man to behold himself in the mirror and walk off and forget what manner of man we are? Y'all see that? What's that?
I was going to say the scriptures say for us to examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith or not. If we're not examining ourselves, but we're looking at everybody else, what they're doing, we're not accountable for what we are doing.
But what do you think? Well, ask me what I think about Israel. Why don't you ask me that first? I am an Israelite. Why don't you ask me what I think about my people? Because I think our people is more wicked than Esau sometimes. Man. So where did they learn all this wickedness from? We made it look cool. Remember, the Sodomites was black. They was Africans. Then the Benjamites took on the Sodomite traits to where they almost got wiped out to the last man. Right? But we was dwelling around all these nations, man. So when they seen us doing it, hey, wonder what that's about. We taught these nations everything, man. Wickedness and righteousness. We the ones that screwed up the world. Y'all see that? Now, just like everything else, like say you take art, right? We did art. We started sculptures and everything like that. That's what all that is out there in Mesopotamia that they trying to blow up, right? Now, every sculpture out there that we was doing, except for the ones that got into the worship of the female and all that stuff like that, right? Every sculpture we did, the niggas got clothes on, down to the feet, right? Esau emulated it. What they do? Every statue they make be butt ass naked with his thing hanging out. So they took what we did and they messed it up, right? Now, if that was the good things we did and they messed it up, what happened when we gave them wickedness? What happened when we taught them homosexuality?
They took it a step further.
They was like, shoot, we could put it in everything. You see that? Why stop at boys? Let's get goats, snakes, fish, rabbits, right? If it has a hole, we can stick it in there. Yeah, that's why I said there's a whole list of philias, man. They're like dendrophilia, the necrophilia.
There's a list of every philia and phobia.
Huh?
There's a list of every philia and phobia now that you're talking about doubt as well.
Right.
And that.
Right, because
every Esau got to target everything, categorize everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid of lightophobia. Oh, I'm afraid of floors, floorophobia.
Right, photophobia, right, all that. There's a phobia and a philia for everything.
Exactly.
Y'all see that? Why? Because we taught them this, and what they do, they expounded on it and made it worse. You see that? Because they're not doing what we do, right? Like I said, with fashion, they're not doing it the way we do it. When they stole the cornrows thing and they put that on the runway, right? Becky don't look like Judah when she wearing cornrows. She look like damn Alien versus Predator or something, man. It don't look right. It's not your culture. And then they mess it up and then they give it back to the world. Well, guess what? When we taught them wickedness, they messed it up and gave it back to the world. Then the other nations messed it up even more. You understand? Like you take Esau, right? Esau, they ate their meat raw or whatever, right? Rare and all that stuff. Now what? The Chinese and the Japanese and the Koreans want to be like them. They just grabbing this stuff right out the sea and eating it. Grabbing the rats right out the hole. Come here. Like, where you learn that from? Esau taught us that.
I saw something too. It's like it was some history that Africans were, you know how Africa, everybody took Africans to build their houses and everything.
Right.
Long ago, before even any of these buildings existed, even France, Italy, all that, they had Africans come build it. So this French architecture, Indian, Italian architecture, it's African.
Yeah.
Africans had the mindset behind it. They just stole it.
Yeah.
And you can just look on TV and see white people doing everything. They want all this stuff. They got like padded booty pants and stuff, workouts to do, make your butt big and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean,
That's all the workout is now.
lip stuff.
Like every time you see a workout video where they focus on glutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? I like Gabrielle Union. It's funny, man. Like I had her on Instagram. I had to get rid of that because all she does, she's in the gym and she got the white man training her how to build her glutes.
Yeah. And then
Like,
the white people.
Like that's not their thing. Why you don't have a brother teach you that? Why you don't have there's this other one, Brittany Babe Fitness. She got glutes. All you gotta do is run track. You ain't gotta do all that squats and all that. That burns it off. Every track star I done seen. Y'all seen track stars before, right? Every sister that I seen run track, man, got a propeller back there, man.
and then white women want to talk about how black women always have weaves and always have sew-ins and always have this, but then check it out. Pull that white girl's hair, the clip will come right out.
Yeah, I see that at the ball a lot, man.
Oh,
Yeah, the extensions. Yeah, just because you call them extensions don't mean it ain't weave.
This is naturally beautiful. Yeah, because you didn't grow it.
Yeah, but that curse is going through the whole earth, though.
Yeah, and
You
then
understand?
on top of that is this. They have this stuff that Paul Mitchell serves white people and all that. They have the nice shampoos and conditioners that help them. But then you look at the black products and they break out your hair, dry out your hair, crack it up.
Make them go bald, man.
And then on top of that, they moms braid their kids' hair when they're really young. So by the time they're old, they got patches.
Yeah.
They don't teach them that it's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, and like I said, we gotta accept our fault as Israelites. We gotta accept our fault in the things that went down. in history. That's what we're reading about. You know what I mean? We gotta accept our fault because I said if you go to the older brother who ate all the I'll get in there. That means that Esau was the younger race. We were the ones supposed to teach them. We were the ones supposed to show them, like, listen, no, you don't do that. You understand? Now, we know they sold their birthright out and everything like that. But they also learned a lot of their wickedness from us, man. It all comes back to black culture, man. That's the problem. It all comes back to the so-called Negro. Yeah, BET run by the fake Jews. Oh, all of that, man. What's the other one? Black Lives Matter movement. That's a bunch of lesbians. What's the other one? Feminism was started by white girls. What's the other thing, man? It's something else. That one. That was started by like a whole panel of white men.
And now they got this LGBT thing, the new flag. You know the rainbow flag, the blasphemous rainbow flag. Yeah, it's the new flag now.
Hey, it's all good, man. They can fly their flags as high as they want to do it, man. They need to get more followers, man. Because that's the only thing about Charles Darwin. I go ahead and just increase. That's what the scriptures say that. Let the wicked increase in his wickedness. You see that? Why? Because that's going to build them up. It's going to be that much bigger a fall. It's going to be that much more obvious why they got their ass whooped. You see that? I got this chick on the one thing, man. She's ex-Marine. She's a Marine, actually. She's current Marine. I grow up, I ain't gonna teach my kids about no God. They're gonna learn. I teach them anti-God arguments, and I teach them I teach them evolution and all this stuff like that. Then on the other post, she worried about, well, I just got a concealed gun permit, but now I gotta worry about getting shot when I'm reaching for the permit. I'm like, dumb bitch, that's what you read in the Bible. That's what you read about, is that whose oppressors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You crying and sighing over the same abominations being done to your people, but you don't want to acknowledge God in the whole thing. It's your damn fault. Our people don't want to acknowledge the Most High. They don't want to acknowledge Yahweh, man. So you get what's coming to you. That's why when I see that, I'm like, wow, you actually went and paid for the permit, took the classes and everything. Now it's useless for you. Now you see it. Now you get it. I was trying to teach you about the Bible. I post something about the Bible. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Okay. Then don't cry. Don't cry when everything of the Bible comes to pass in your life. And you suffering for that. Y'all see that? Israel can't do that either, man. We can't be crying when the suffering comes. Oh, I'm broke. Well, the Most High said if you don't work, you don't eat. Why didn't you work? When he gave you the position and gave you the place to work, why you didn't work? I didn't want to do that. I didn't see how that was spiritual. I didn't see why that didn't fit into my little paradigm of how work should go. Well, nigga, that's why you ain't eating. You got excuses. Can you eat your excuses? Let me serve you up your excuses and put some hot sauce on them, baby. Oh, wait, you can't afford hot sauce. Let me get my hot sauce back. You eat them excuses dry.
Eat dry excuses.
Man, can't eat excuses, man. And that's the thing. When Christ comes, Israel's not going to be able to eat them excuses, man. They ain't going to be able to serve up Christ a whole plate of excuses. Okay. Let's go on with the reading, man.
We're on 11.
Oh, you're done with yours? Mm-hmm. All right. So next reader, we have he read, then you read, and then we'll go to Jeremiah. Hey, where'd Benaiah go? Yeah, I had all that included in there. Come on up, man. Yeah, like that.
Jeremiah, Sabbath Saw, Yahweh, Ban Yasharala.
Jeremiah, Sabbath Yehoda, Ban Yashala, I imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatan.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrakatan. Come on up.
But you're at 14, verse 11 through 33.
Numbers, chapter 14, verse 11. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have showed among them, I will smite them with the pestilence.
So what happened when we got into doubt?
I will smite them with the pestilence.
It brought death. It brought that spirit of death. The Most High was like, I want to kill them. Y'all see that? What got us kicked out of Eden? Doubt. You don't want nothing to do with that, man. You don't want nothing to do with the doubtful. Read.
And disinherit them, and I will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said unto the Lord, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them.
Right, where you at?
Verse 14.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 14.
So this is the Most High. He's showing you. He was going to, at one time, he was going to smite us with the pestilence, disinherit us. And he said, listen, Moses, I'll make of you a greater nation than them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to kill all 6 million of these cats. I'm going to kill, I think it was between like 3 and 4 million. Right? Because we had 600,000 footmen just for the army that he let out. Now, beside their families, besides the ones that were under the age of 20 and over the age of 50.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So we had about 3 million. 3-4 million, right? So I'm gonna wipe out all 3-4 million of these cats, and I'll make a greater nation out of you than they ever were. Moses is given a good opportunity right here. Yeah, me, I might have took it. I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's wait so we could just have a whole nation of just righteous prophets. Yeah, let's. He had already said all of them. I wish all of them would do it. Moses had already said that previous when we read last week, right? Okay, so this is a grand opportunity for you to make that happen. The Most High is presenting you with, right? Yeah, move out the way. We'll make that nation you was talking about.
Why do you think I'm here?
Right? Read. Oh, wait. Did you read 12 again?
God. Numbers chapter 14 and verse 12. I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they.
Yeah, we would have all been Levite priests, man. It would have just been the nation of Levi. Actually, it would have been the nation of Moses. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto the Most High, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them.
See, they're going to be like, listen, okay, the Egyptians going to hear about that, though. The Egyptians, they fear you and everything, but they're going to think you just got them out here and you couldn't take care of them. They're going to do what Egyptology does today. Well, if your God's real, why don't he stop me when I shoot up the Bible? If your God's real, call him down right now. All right? They be doing all that. That's what the Egyptians would have done back then. So Moses is telling them, like, listen, okay, but the Egyptians going to hear about this. They're going to know that you got us out here and you couldn't take care of us. And you had to get us down to one man that was manageable. What kind of God only can manage one man? Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And they will tell the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou, Yahweh, art among this people, that thou, Yahweh, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by day, time in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now if thou shalt kill all this people as one man, then the nations which have heard of the fame of thee will speak, saying, because the Most High was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore he had slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech thee, let the power of my God be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Most High is long-suffering, and of a great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation.
See, so what we gotta understand is, he said that the Lord is long-suffering of great mercy. Something that wasn't introduced by Christ is grace. That wasn't introduced by Christ. You understand? He didn't, when he came down, and what I'm saying is when he came down as Jesus Christ, right? Yahushua of Nazareth, right? When he came down like that, he's not the one that introduced us to grace. We had grace before that. And it was brought to us by Moses at that time. Y'all see that? Moses was the one that was like, don't kill them. don't do that. Right? You're going to look bad to the nations. Don't do that. You know what? I am long-suffering. I can wait. I'll check them when it comes time. You know what? I'm going to make sure I start killing them for their own individual stuff. Their own individual wickedness. Y'all see that? I ain't going to wipe out every single person just because a few niggas. I'm going to wipe out those niggas. That'll show my power even more. When I take a whole group and only the sinners get swallowed up by the earth and the other ones standing on little poles of earth, like, what the hell happened, right? And then I just bring the earth back, like, and not the people. You gonna know I'm the Most High. If I just wiped everybody out, shoot, I think I could protect y'all from some disease or something. You right, Moses. I'll be long-suffering. I'll have grace on them. Y'all see that?
God.
So he was exercising that grace even then. Even with the law saying, put these type of people to death, put those type of people to death, he still had grace. He already had grace and mercy over his people. Y'all see that?
God.
What Christ instituted was the grace that would happen for people that were supposed to be put to death. You understand?
God.
He gave them grace, a grace period where, okay, you know what? He's going to put you to death if you don't stop. Y'all see that? See, Christ didn't do away with the law. He showed you. Look, he's going to kill you if you don't stop. All right? Go and sin no more. Why? Because the wages of sin is death, stupid. You remember what he used to do. I'm here so he don't do that no more. But if you don't stop, he going to send me back here. And I'm not going to come as a man. I'm not going to meet you as a man. I'm going to meet you as a fierce man of war. Y'all see that? So this is how the scriptures are, we're showing this thing. I'm bringing out these things because people act like certain things Christ did was a new concept. They get to the New Testament, they're like, oh, I'm throwing that away. That ain't Torah. The Torah only cats, they act like he introduced new concepts. No. Most High had grace and mercy before. Understand that. There was many men that stood in the path of us and death by the Most High's hands.
Yep.
There were many saviors before Christ. Y'all see that? He was just the ultimate because why? He did it without sinning. Moses misstepped. He hit the rock, right? Instead of speaking to it. Christ didn't misstep. Y'all see that? Solomon misstepped. He followed after the strange gods and everything. Okay, well, you ain't the one then. David misstepped. There would always be an opportunity for an Israelite to be like, you know, God will be like, y'all will be like, hey, be like David. He's a man after my own heart. Well, so that means I can go set up niggas and get them killed and sleep with their woman? That's what I can do, God? That's what you about? Okay, well, I can't use him as the example. Let me send you a sinless man, born the same way as all those other men, and then you'll follow him. And if you don't follow him, you won't have no excuse for when I kill you. Y'all see that? See, Moses helped introduce sin into that new nation that was coming, man. He helped introduce that doubt. That's why it says by one man sin came into the world, right? Adam did it, right? Moses did it. Solomon did it. David did it. They all kept injecting that little bit of sin into the world. And so everybody that's Torah only, all the way up to Christ, can say, oh, well, shoot, David fell. Moses fell. But when you get to Christ, oh, damn, he didn't fall. He didn't fall for the stupid stuff. Y'all see that? He was mad. You know what? I don't believe in that New Testament. It doesn't give me an excuse. Y'all see that? It doesn't feed my doubt. What is it? Come. Yeah. Where are we at?
19.
Oh, go ahead.
Of course.
Numbers.
Question?
Yeah, I just something you were saying just then about the Lord having mercy. Then back there too. I recall a scripture too where the Lord said, "I'm gonna have pity on man."
Yeah.
I recall. I can't. I don't know exactly well.
Oh, it's
but I
all through the scriptures, man.
In that Old Testament way, he did say it.
Yeah, you got even was it Malachi or 3:22? If I'm not mistaken, or Lamentation. Let me see. I think it's Malachi. Yeah, it's Malachi. Not 22. It's Lamentations 3.
Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity.
No.
Oh, snap, that's 4, I'm sorry. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed.
See? Y'all see that? All the way back to the days of Moses, it was of his mercy that we weren't consumed. He been had grace on us. See that? It wasn't a new concept introduced by Christ. Christ was reestablishing old concepts and solidifying them and making them solid. There was no excuse when Christ did it. When Yahushua came, there was no excuse anymore. There was no hold. There was no defense. Y'all see that?
Go ahead.
Oh, the law was given to me by Moses. He had an Ethiopian woman. He had this. He sinned. He spoke to the rock. He was doubtful. Y'all see that?
Done.
Okay, well, that ain't your example. You know what follow David? Ah, damn. You know, follow Solomon. Right? Follow this prophet. Follow that prophet. Oh, y'all can't follow the prophets who live sinless. Y'all see that?
Done.
You won't follow them either. Look, let me bring in the balance. Let me bring you Christ that's a man like y'all, like unto your brethren. He didn't just come out of nowhere and start prophesying, walking around butt naked. No, he had a job. You know what I mean? So all y'all nigresses can be like, oh, he got a good job. Yeah, he had a job, right? He wasn't all super fit and everything, so you could be like, oh, look at his six pack. Nah, you following him why? Because he had the power of the Most High and it was obvious. Y'all see that? He didn't make no excuse. He was a perfect man. Y'all see that? He didn't leave you any excuse to not follow the Most High perfectly. Oh, well, then that's why I got to throw out this New Testament. Because I like my excuses. I like being able to find that one flaw in that one man that lets me keep doing my wickedness. Y'all see that? What's that?
If you follow the Old Testament, though, you still got that thing about, what is it? 10 Commandments, right?
Yeah.
There ain't no excuse then either.
There was never an excuse. You see that?
Everybody always wants to find something.
Yeah.
Even when you say, I'm not you saying it, but the other people saying, oh, Solomon cheated, blah, blah, blah. Well, so?
Right. Then what's that got to do with you?
Right.
But see, that's the thing, is that's what it feeds their cliche. It feeds their nobody's perfect thing.
Yeah.
You see that? I get to say nobody's perfect until I get to the New Testament. Then I got to follow men like Paul. Christ. That's why those are the two that they want to hang up all the time. They don't go in on Peter. They don't go in on Matthew and all these other cats. They go in on Paul and Christ. Why? Because Paul was a eunuch, man. He didn't even deal with women. There was nothing you could hold against Paul except for the thing that he was helping kill the prophets, right? But even that, he was a Pharisee. He was law-abiding. He was within the law. Y'all see that? So even then, but the Most High just had to show him, okay, yeah, you're doing the law, but you're not doing it right.
Right.
You see that? But Paul and Christ, no sins. You can't hold no sin against them. You see that? He said it. Even when I was with the lawless, I became as one that was not under the law, yet under the law to the Most High. See that? Like, yeah, I hung around potheads, but I didn't smoke.
Right.
I passed. You see that?
They puff and I passed.
Yeah. Y'all see that? Yeah, I went and preached to the faggots, but I didn't bend over.
Right.
Y'all see that? Why? Because Paul shows you, I went into all them arenas just like Christ did, yet without sin. Oh, I don't want to follow these cats.
And I love it when the Pharisees try to catch you up on it. Oh, well, you're with the whores and the faggots. Well,
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You going to go to the doctor when you're healthy?
Exactly, man.
I like that
Or does the doctor come to you to get better?
Right.
No, nah. He is a doctor. I'm going to hang around you.
You going to eat when you're full? No.
Right.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. But see, we're getting this understanding now by reading this law, man. By reading the Torah, we're getting the understanding. That's why it's good, even if you're Torah only, to come into these classes, because then you get to see that, you know what? There ain't nothing new being written in the New Testament. That was the only invention that man did, was they divided it and said, this is the Old Testament, this is the New Testament. It's all the same testament.
Just reiterate, the New Testament reiterates the Old Testament.
Yeah, no, listen. A testament is a story. It's somebody telling you a story. It's somebody telling you facts, right? So there is no Old Testament and New Testament. This is all fact.
Right.
It's all one story. Y'all see that? There was no Old and New Testament before 100 AD. The Bible was all one thing. You see that? When you deal with these certain councils and stuff, they decided to throw in an Old Testament and a New Testament. Y'all see that? But you read about Old and New Covenants. You don't read about Old and New Testaments. Why? Because it's the same damn story.
That's right.
Christ lived the same story as Elijah, lived the same story as these other prophets. They just didn't sin. They walked the earth. They told the people what was wrong with them, and they did not sin. Y'all see that? That's the same story. We have those type of people all through the Bible. He didn't bring no new law and tell you, hey, do this, do that. No, he said, love your neighbor as yourself. That's in the law. That's Leviticus 19:17. All he did was bring it to the forefront to show you that all the other laws lead up to that. If I love my neighbor, I'm not going to feed him pork chops. Why the hell would I want to kill my neighbor with the slowest possible death ever? And the most embarrassing. Don't you know them worms they're not specific to what part of your brain they're gonna eat. So they eat a part of your brain, and you be sitting over there on skip mode for the rest of your life. Skittles and cheese, Skittles and cheese, Skittles and cheese for like the rest of your damn life.
Skittles and cheese.
Like, that's not something that says I.
With abortion, it's not cured now, but even they didn't do nothing about it. 1980s.
Yeah.
They knew about it. They're just like, nah, here you go.
Right, they know how to do the salt thing and cure it and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah,
but
don't tell them, just eat it.
yeah, that's why they used to do the salt pork thing, because when you pour the salt on worms, you pour salt on slugs and stuff like that, it shrivels them up. So they would salt that pork real heavy, man. Y'all see that? But yeah, this trichinosis one lives through that. The trichinosis worm lives through all that.
And the 50s, they even had the worm head to lose some weight. Eat whatever you want, and you didn't eat that. And they never knew it was a worm head. They thought it was a pill.
Yeah, wow.
And then people coming out with like 8-foot worms out of their bellies and stuff. No, it's gross.
Wow.
They still do that.
Sick, man.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the only thing. All Christ did, all Paul did was bring clarity to the Old Testament, and you're going to see it as we keep reading. All they did was clarify it and live it and do it without sin, so it can be done.
That's right.
That's the stuff they really want to omit. They want to omit things like Philippians, Romans 9. Christ is strength.
Christ says, what goes into you does not make you sin.
Where we at?
19.
19? And you're reading to 33, right? Yeah, let's get it.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 19. The iniquity of this people, forgiving this people from evil.
Mediator. What was Moses right now? What did we just read? He just mediated. You understand? But see, here's the thing. Back then, at this point, Moses is mediating for one. He's mediating so the Most High don't kill Israel, right? But then he gets sent down with commandments, and he has to tell the people to mediate with the Most High. Y'all see that? To get their stuff right and together with the Most High. Do the same thing. Partition. Why? Because this ain't nothing that's fantastic, outlandish. Shoot, Moses was on point with the Most High all until he spoke to. See that? He would have been sinless except he hit the rock. David would have been counted. He's counted sinless. He's even that. He was so righteous that got wiped off his record. But it's still there. That's the problem. It's still there for the people, the carnal-minded. Y'all see that? But that's the thing is, we had men like this who, except for one fault, they was pretty much sinless. Then, that's why Isaiah, he made him do that.
Yeah.
Right? Eat doo-doo that comes out of man. Yeah, and what did that guy do? I ain't never did that before. $100,000 a burger. That's how much it costs to make them.
You're paying $100,000
to do those things which is not convenient, like the scriptures say. They going out of their way to be wicked. They paying money to be wicked. They synthesize the protein from raw sewage, and they turn it into meat for a burger. $100 worth of research and development to do that.
Me and her don't eat that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you, but it's good. That's why we don't.
When we was eating pork in the world, pigs eat their own feces, man.
At once upon a time, I was at once upon a time.
Yeah.
Pigs will eat anything, anybody, anything.
Yeah. Pigs, dogs.
Don't piss off a pig farm.
Rats.
We're gonna make it disappear.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they won't even fight you.
Eating people anyway. With the government.
Yeah, pig farmers, gator farmers, don't mess with them. You be gone. Nobody ever even find you. But yeah, that's the thing is we gotta watch these things that we don't get into this mind state that you know what the New Testament ain't real because I don't want to live this sinless life. I don't think it can be done. It was done before Christ. Y'all see that? But we killed them before they got to become the sacrifice. We killed them. Well, that ain't how sacrifices work. You gotta offer them up to the priest. You can't just stone them, chop them in half in a tree, bury them up to their neck in filth. You know what I mean? No, you gotta do it the right way. You gotta offer the sacrifice up. You gotta be willing. You know, see that? They accidentally sawed Isaiah in half. That's he was hiding in the tree. They saw the tree. They were cutting the tree down. He was hiding in the tree. They cut him in half. Yeah. So they accidentally killed him. That don't count as a sacrifice. Christ counted as a sacrifice. Why? Because we willingly put his ass on the cross. Y'all see that?
Murderers and thieves.
Yeah. We willingly offered him up as a lamb, and then we put him up there. We didn't break none of his bones, none of that. Y'all see that? He was it. Tell me what it is. You see that? I didn't tell you what it means either. You tell me what that means. Well, they come off with some off the wall answer, some prideful answer. They just speaking without the knowledge. And you like, well, that don't line up with this precept, that precept, that precept, and that precept, all from the Old Testament. Y'all see that? See, clearly you don't have an understanding of the old, and that's why you get stumbled on the new.
Is that why y'all told him that if you haven't believed on Moses, you won't believe me?
Yeah. Yeah. He said that. That's why Abraham told the rich man. He said in Luke 19 or Luke 16. He said, "Listen, they got Moses and the prophets." He said, "Well, one come back from the dead, they'll believe him. Well, if they won't believe Moses and the prophets, they won't believe if a cat came back from the dead." And how do you know? Because Christ came back from the dead, they didn't believe him. You see that? Well, look, I tried to tell you. Look. Brought Christ back, even his own apostles didn't believe.
Right.
Let me fill the holes in your head. You know who the hell I am. You heard my voice. You walk with me.
Right.
I'm going to be an imposter. You still got to fill the holes in my hand? Really? Y'all see that? They won't believe even if one came back from the dead. This is how hard-headed Israel is. They won't believe even if the Red Sea get parted and we're able to walk through the Red Sea with the waters on each side on dry land, not just dry land, grass. You read in the Apocrypha, we was walking, he not only parted the Red Sea, he dried up the ground and grass grew. So it wasn't no Prince of Egypt where we was coming across there and the cart wheels were breaking on rocks and everything. No, we was AstroTurf. All the way there. Y'all understand? That was the miracle of it. Now we were actually walking on grass all the way through that.
And even science can't deny that either, because they found some chariots underneath the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Chariots, horse bones, whatever. They found some metal, like a bunch of spears and stuff.
Yep.
Even science says it.
Yeah. But then you got then you got the Antichrist and you got the anti-Bible people. They come back and, well, it was Egypt, so of course there's chariot wheels down there. Yeah, but the Egyptians didn't mess with the Red Sea. They weren't the ones traversing the Red Sea. They weren't doing that. They was using the other waterways. They was using the Nile. They was floating their troops into these nations using the Nile and these other rivers they had. They weren't messing with the Red Sea. You stupid. Ain't nobody gonna take that. You don't read about the Egyptians invading Greece, invading the north and all this stuff like that. They was messing with the people around them. You'll see that? And the way to get to those places, you didn't have to travel through the Red Sea. So what the hell? They'd be like, yeah, of course, because the Egyptians was floating their chariots and stuff across the Red Sea, and many ships got wrecked and things like that.
Yeah, but where's the bones at?
Yeah, where's the proof of that? That ain't none of the Egyptian things where they was invading some country via the Red Sea.
And another science thing too, they found Noah's Ark in a mountain. There's a big, huge looking rock.
Yeah,
it looks like a boat.
Yeah.
It's a giant boat, part of the mountain.
Yeah. That's what I said. Is we believe even if one came back from the dead. Y'all see that? Especially our people. They gonna look up in the sky when Christ comes. What the hell that nigga doing up there? You need to come down here and get back to work, man. Why you killing all them white people, man? That's how steep they are in doubt. Y'all see that? That's how big a whole doubt has on people. Why it's such a death sentence. And if you don't let it go, If you don't let that doubt go, it will. 21? Right.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 21. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yahweh. Because all those men.
So right there we know that all the other nations knew about the Most High. But he gave his law to Israel and his covenants, the promises, he gave that to Israel. And he had not done so with any other nation. So when we say, yeah, all the nations know about God, and people be like, no, Psalm 78:5, Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Well, read Psalm 78:5. Read 147, verse 19 and 20. Then read this. Read this scripture right here and find out that the glory of the Most High was known in all the earth. That was the whole point of him destroying Egypt. The whole point of him delivering us through the Red Sea. Y'all see that? And so he can make his name known to everybody. Don't mess with the Israelites. They got Yahweh with him. You don't want to mess with. Who's Yahweh? Is he like Ra or something? No. Ra is imaginary. Yahweh is real. Yahweh killed all the men in Egypt. All that bloodshed and stuff going on in Egypt, that was the Most High. He sent his son down. His son did that. That ain't even the actual Most High did that. He got his kids doing that. Y'all see that? They was afraid of us, man, because even the son of the Most High could do that. Their God's sons was too busy copulating between another man's buttocks and sucking his own penis, man. Every god the Egyptians worshiped was a faggot or an incest or something like that. So they didn't have nothing to look up to, huh?
That's why they were half dog, half horse, half owl.
Yeah. Like, what the hell you got a man that's half dog? Don't you know what a dog does, man? My dog had 8 puppies, man. And every time, some of the times it was while the puppy was doing it, it will go behind the puppy and eat the puppy's doodle right out of his butt. I'm like, okay, that's what y'all worshiping? Y'all worshiping the now see, you got a canine's intestines is only about, it's about like 4 feet long, something like that. I forgot how they did it. Not 4 feet. It's like, yeah, it's about 4 feet or something like that. It's not as long as a human's. You understand? Ours is like, I forgot how it is, 20-something feet long, something like that, right? Stretched out. But theirs only like 4 feet long, right? So they eat these things and they process and everything like that. Well, you put a dog head, so he got a dog's appetites, and you put it on a human body who can hold more puppy feces, more blood that they lick up off the ground, more maggot maggot-filled carcasses that they eat. You put that on a human's body to contain all of that in more intestinal tract, in a bigger stomach. And that's what you worship.
Right.
Some nigga running around eating doodoo all day.
And his own vomit.
Yeah, returning to his own vomit, exactly. Right? The female dogs, they'll turn around and lick their own period blood out. Like, are you serious? That's what you worship? Cats?
Don't talk to my cats.
Everybody got a problem with cats, so we ain't gotta go there, man. Right? What else they have? Falcon-headed gods and all that? Their gods didn't compare to the God of Israel, man. Their gods didn't have the power. Their gods were effeminate and faggots. And that's what they had. That's all they had to look up to. Y'all see that? Where you at?
Verse 22. Second precept. And have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. 23.
Go ahead.
Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, had followed me fully. Him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites.
Where you at?
Verse 25.
Caleb had another spirit.
So you got 14?
8 more verses.
14. 14.
14 and 25.
Right, I'm on the wrong pages.
I'm gonna start back at 22.
But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and have followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. There was a chosen all the time. This is historical. Always there was a chosen out of a multitude. There was a grape out of the cluster. You understand? So when you get these Christians that, well, we're all Israelites now. Yeah, but there's a chosen out of all of us. That's why Paul, that you trust in, also said they are not all Israel that are of Israel. Because there's an elect, as you read in Romans 9. There's an elect of those people. That the rest are going to fall away. They're going to be blinded, but those elect are going to follow him. Those 12 spies, only 2 were elect, were chosen. Y'all see that? The rest were blinded. Y'all get that? So it was always like that. It ain't nothing new in the New Testament. Read on.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 25. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. Tomorrow turn you and get you into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea.
See, he said, listen, they was talking about they was going to go conquer the Amalekites and who?
The Canaanites.
Right. When they talked about that, when they was complaining, oh yeah, let's go down here, the Amalekites and the Canaanites over here, we can whoop them, they're the same size. Okay. Go over to, you're going to go to the Amalekite land then. I'm going to show you what's up. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Yasharah, which they murmur against me. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Most High, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in the wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun.
Now, when you read about Joshua the son of Nun, when he was called Hosea, right? He was a Benjamite. He was an Ephraimite, right? So when you get to that, when we read in Ezekiel the other day, and it said that the high priest Joshua stood before the Most High, and he was in filthy garments. That's not this Joshua. Joshua wasn't no high priest. He wasn't even of the tribe of Levi. You understand? That's Yahushua that was the high priest. You understand? All right. Even Moses didn't count as the high priest. He was a prophet. You understand? He didn't count as a high priest. He didn't pertain to the tribe, to Aaron's lineage. Y'all see that? Yahushua was a high priest after the order of Melchizedek, but there wasn't none of the other ones. So that Joshua that you read about is not talking about this Joshua. Because you got cats that say that. That ain't Yahushua, that's Joshua. Well, Joshua was the son of Nun, who was an Ephraimite. We just read it. That's why Numbers goes through that. When you know these lineages and these genealogies and everything, right? When you know them, you don't get confused when you get to the later scriptures where they're exposing Christ all in there. You don't get confused and say, oh, he wasn't in there. Well, if you read the Old Testament, you know that Joshua ain't the same. Yeah, it starts at verse 1 and you go down.
Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. And he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan, even the Lord that had chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee.
Now I'm gonna take part of that back. When you go into Haggai, they told you Joshua that was the son of one of the high priests, so that would have made him the high priest after. All right, so you got that Joshua, right? And this right here is referring to that, but what is he representing? What did the high priest represent every year, every term? They represented Yahushua. Y'all see that?
Okay.
Here you're actually seeing him being represented that way. What's that?
No, I was saying
Oh, okay. No, I thought you had a question. But see that? So we got Joshua, the high priest, which is an actual person, all right? But he was representative of Christ. So when you read through that, that's representing Yahushua.
Is that too why they say, whenever they would talk about Yahushua, they would always say of Nazareth because that name was common.
Right. Let me see. I'm trying to look for that. Let's see. Right, there you go. Where he's talking about he's going to bring forth his servant, the branch. So I will take that back, that this Joshua is a high priest, an actual high priest, all right, that we read about in Haggai. All right, so that Joshua he's talking to isn't Christ. All the high priests did represent him, but that's not actually him being shown here, all right? But he did give him that he was gonna bring forth his servant, the branch, which we know is Yahushua.
But the high priest's office represented Christ.
There you go. That's what you read in Hebrews 10, Hebrews 8, 9, 10, right? You read how those people, they offered those sacrifices year by year, but Christ only had to do it once.
Mm-hmm.
See that? So those high priests were always representing what Christ was going to do in that time. He was the one that's going to be able to stand in the Holy of Holies, sinless, blameless. You see that? Before the Most High. Those priests represented that on earth. They had to come before the Most High, sinless, blameless, and clean. Right? There you go. Let's see. All right, so there were no questions yet. Go ahead, read where you at. In Numbers, you're reading through verse 33. So yeah, I will take that back. Correction. All right, through the precepts we get understanding that Joshua that we're reading about in Zechariah is not Yahushua. All right. Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 31. But your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in the wilderness, and your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness.
All right, so let's bring up the next reader. We're going to start at Romans 14, verse 34 through 15, verse 12. All right?
Romans?
No, Numbers.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, come on up. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what tribe, but you just say your nation, I guess. Right? Out of one.
Out of one.
Out of one?
Yeah.
got Harrison, Shabbat Shaw, or no?
Yeah. Harrison, Shabbat Shaw.
Shabbat what?
Well, no.
Shabbat is
So
Shaw.
would
Shabbat
be
is Shaw, yeah.
Shaw.
Shaw.
Yeah, Shabbat Shaw. I don't say Shabbat Shaw. No, Harrison, Ban Adawam. No, Harrison, because you don't know your tribe, so
I just eat some.
yeah. Harrison, Ban Adawam.
Harrison, Ban Adawam.
Harrison, Ban Adawam. I imagine. Barak.
Barak.
Yahweh.
You,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, you salute.
Yeah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh
Yeah. Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahasham.
Bahasham.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Barakatham.
Barakatham.
Alright.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham.
Alright, come on up. Oh, you good? You got your Bible?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, okay, alright.
Just easy for me to get to it. So what are we going to?
14 verse 34 to 15 verse 12.
14, 34, 15, 12.
Yeah.
Okay. 34. Alright.
After the number of I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land, even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before Yahweh. But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were the men that went to search the land, lived still.
Right, so again, that doubt, he instantly brought a death sentence to them. You understand? That brought an instant death sentence. Go ahead.
And Moses told all these sayings unto all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning and gat them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and will go up unto the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned. And Moses said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord, but it shall not prosper.
Right, so they're like, oh, listen, well, we're sorry, we're gonna go ahead and take the land now, right? But he said, no, I didn't tell you to do that. No, you want to go to the Amalekites and the Canaanites, so that's where you're gonna go. You see that? But they was like determined, oh, we're gonna go and fight and get the promised land anyway. We're not gonna wander around 40 years. No, we sorry, we're gonna do it right now. Nah, you transgressing again. Yeah, he ain't playing with that weak BS you trying to bring and act like you all of a sudden getting right and everything. No. You transgressing again. You talking against the Most High again. He said what you're going to do. You're going to water around that wilderness for 40 years, man. You're not going to get the promised land. None of this evil generation going to see it. Y'all see that? But the people still want to act like they get to do against what the Most High said. Y'all see that? And this shows you that, like, yeah, okay, we do that. Wicked man that hang his head down sadly as if he heard not. We do that all the time, man. This is typical Israel. This is a trait in our people that we're trying to kill as we come back to righteousness. We're trying to live sin-free and get rid of that trait. Y'all see that? That, oh, okay, I messed up. Let me just throw some paint on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I screwed up everything. Let me just try to take it back. Let me try to do something right and cover it up. Y'all see that? Even though the thing that I'm trying to do that's right is the wrong thing, because the person already told me you don't miss the boat. Like, nope, nah, you missed that opportunity. No, I got it. Okay, you cleaned the whole house. I don't give a damn. Well, the house clean, cool. You still ain't going. Right? When you was a kid, you want to go on you want to go out with your friends and everything, but you didn't clean your room, right? Well, I told you if you didn't clean that room, you weren't going out. Well, no, look, I'm gonna clean it right now. I'll clean the whole house. Okay, clean it out. She wait for you. You still ain't going out. Thanks for cleaning my house, though. Right? I told you. You should have listened the first time. That's how the Most High is dealing with Israel. Like, listen, y'all should have listened. Now you want to go up. And then you're going to do against what I told you to do? I told you you're not going out. Read on.
And Moses said, wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord, but it shall not prosper.
It ain't going to work.
Go not up, for the Lord is not among you.
It's like we tell brothers when they be at the mall. Perfect example, man. You know what I mean? Brother go do something faithless, sell the oil for $20 or something, and you know it's $30 or $40. He sell it for $20 behind the brother's back. The brother find out, man, you might as well go home, man. Okay, you gonna say, well, listen, you gonna run around here all day, we ain't gonna make nothing. Most High ain't blessing your faithlessness. You see that? And ask any of these brothers if they've been up there to the mall, they'll tell you, yeah, it works like that every time. You be like, damn, we was at 200 at 1 o'clock, right? In 3 hours, we had already made $200, man. We was steamrolling. Then we got to 220, and it stopped the whole rest of the day. From 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, we was just running around talking to people, sweating. Ended with 220. Y'all see that? Because he don't bless that faithlessness, man. And it's the same thing here. He's like, listen, you gonna go ahead and go on up, but you ain't gonna win. It ain't gonna prosper. Go ahead.
Numbers 14:42. Go not up, for the Lord is not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye are turned away from Yahweh. Therefore,
it ain't the Ananakim, right? It ain't the Anakim. They're not over there. No, it's the Canaanites and those Amalekites you said you could whoop. Oh, let's go down there instead. Okay. They gonna whoop you. You see that? I'm gonna whoop that ass with the wicked, which are my sword. The Amalekites, the same ones that sold you into slavery. You understand? The same ones that got your land today. The bastard that dwells in Ashdod. Those are the Amalekites. They're not Ashkenaz. Amalekites are children of Esau. You understand? Ashkenaz would be children of Japhet. So that's a falsehood that got perpetrated on accident. They didn't read the book right. Read that 13th tribe again. All right. No matter what you taught, no matter what you saw on YouTube of the past and all that stuff, it was a misstep, because when you read that book, King Joseph of the Khazars claimed that the Khazars came from Japheth. All right, he claimed that they were the children of Japheth. Why? Because he had took over the original people that lived there, the original Ashkenaz people that lived there, and so he claimed their ancestry just like they did everywhere else they went. You understand? Yeah, you got to read that book. It says he claimed they were the children of Japheth. But the Amalekites, those are the actual children of Esau that dwell over there in our land today. Go ahead.
For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye have turned away from the Lord, therefore the Lord will not be with you. But they presumed to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord and Moses departed not out of the camp. Then,
see that? Like they went ahead and did presumptuously. They went ahead and we gonna do it anyway. Yeah. Cool. I ain't going with you. And don't take the ark. Right? Like your dad when if you had that kind of father, if you had the dad that was going to lend you the car and he took it back. Like, nah, you didn't do what I told you. You didn't clean the garage, right? Okay, you can go to the party, but you ain't taking the car. So what does that mean? That means I gotta ride in the backseat like a scrub, man. I don't get no play. There ain't no point going to the party. I was going there so I could drive up in the car, impress the ladies, get one home with me, right? Now I gotta ride in the backseat.
And you can't take the new clothes that I bought you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Moms did the same thing, right? Yeah, here you go, but you ain't taking the car. You walking. You better get on that bus. Whatever girl you get that is willing to ride that bus home with you, man, you better wife her.
Take the bicycle, put her on the handlebars.
45. Then the events came down and dwelt in that hill and smote him even up.
Malachites came down. And in the African, don't kill these niggas. They beautiful, man.
Not like two. That's another reason there's two races, and you are terminology.
Yep.
Races.
that's why I talk those words be. If I was a pianist, I'd be about right. You prejudiced, right? Well, you prejudiced.
That evil, but it's like, you know, if you rob a store and you get a shot, well, you weren't supposed to rob the store, so that bullet was meant for you.
Yeah.
Don't go in the store. Hey, dude, let's go beat him up. He's trying to rob me right now. Take my whole house.
There you go.
When ye offering by the fire unto Yahweh a burnt offering or sacrifice and perverting of fowl, or in a free will offering, or in your solemn feasts to make a sweet savor unto Yahweh of the herd or of the flock, then unto Yahweh bring a meat the fourth part of an hin of oil.
Alright. So meat offerings they did not include actual meat. It's basically, the word should be translated as a food offering. You understand? Alright, read on.
And for a drink offering shalt thou prepare meals of flour mingled with the third part of an hin of oil. And for a drink offering thou shalt offer the third part of an hin of wine for sweet savor unto Yahweh. And thou shalt prepare a bullock for a burnt offering, peace offerings unto Yahweh. Then thou shalt bring for a drink offering half an hin of wine for an offering made by fire, or a sweet savor unto Yahweh. Thus shall it be done for one bullock, or for one ram, or for a lamb, or a kid. According to the number that ye shall prepare, so shall ye do everything.
Badaya, Shabbat Shalom, Yehowadah, Ban Yasha'Allah, I imagine.
Yahweh Hashem Yasher Brakdam.
Yahweh Hashem Yasher Brakdam.
What's up?
Numbers chapter 15. Numbers chapter. All that are born of the country shall do these things after this offering, and offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if a stranger with you be among you in your generations, unto the Lord, as ye do, so he shall do. Verse 15. One or you, and also for the stranger with sojourneth with you, and orderance for generations, as ye stranger.
Shall the stranger. So where do we get all that stuff? We see only in the Bible. You understand? We had a mixed multitude. We had strangers that sojourn among us. And he said, one law was unto them is unto you. Yes. Y'all see that? So, where did we get this from? Where did this come in at? Y'all see that? I mean, again, not disannulling any of the part of Isaiah 60, not disannulling any part of Isaiah 2 or Jeremiah 16:19 or Zechariah 8:23, not disannulling any of those scriptures, because we know everyone's going to have a place in the kingdom. All right? We already know that the first are going to be last. The ones that are first in this society, in this nation, in this time period right now is going to be last in that kingdom. We already know that. All right? But you don't get nowhere in the scriptures where it was talking about it was us separated from them and all that stuff. If they sojourned among us, if they was dwelling among us, they was treated this way. All right? We didn't vex them. We didn't bother them. Why? Because they was trying to live under the same statutes and laws you did. Y'all see that? Even when you look at Jacob, right? His two sons, Levi and Simeon. He was like, man, you made me to stink before the nations. Why? Because they had already taken the vow of circumcision. You understand? And now you went and disrespected the vow of circumcision. That was a peace treaty between us. Y'all see that? Now that was between him and the people of Shechem. They weren't Israelites. You understand? But he didn't want that vow disrespected. So at the same portion, when we had our nation, when we were living in our land, or when we had strangers that were dwelling amongst us, even in the wilderness, he said, listen, you don't vex them. Why? Because they making sure they try to keep the laws. That you make sure, first of all, they're going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments just like you do. If they're okay to do that, then you don't vex them. You don't bother them. They're under my peace treaty. Y'all see that? Now, if they come in and they still trying to sacrifice to their gods, and they still trying to worship Molech, and still trying to do set up Planned Parenthoods, then you put their ass to death. Or tell them to get the hell up out of the land. Y'all see that? But until that point, as long as they live in according to these laws, statutes, and commandments, they're fine to dwell with you. You can argue if you want to, but we just read it. Right. What's that?
I'll even say, as far as this, I like how he does that too. How, of course, because even Esau can go to heaven. He says Esau he hates the most.
Well, he didn't say nobody was going to heaven. That's
we still have
that's another lie they taught us in church.
The opportunity, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm saying the Most High didn't say none of us was going to heaven.
Right.
He didn't guarantee you that.
Yeah.
All right, he didn't guarantee that even to Israel. The chosen elect, the 144,000, they're going to be able to deal with the Most High like that, and the angels in that realm. But the rest.
I just saw that Esau will be put. It will put the sandals on the feet of God or something
Yeah, if you can find it,
I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it. I just thought it was funny.
No doubt. Yeah, I hadn't run across it, man. I know you said that there was gonna be my footstool.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Isaiah, the last part of Isaiah, but they don't specifically say
I'm
that.
just wording it.
Be doing for Israel.
Yeah. Oh, for Israel.
Yeah.
My bad. I misread that.
Yeah, that's again all 60, Isaiah 2, all that's gonna be down here. Right. All right. And that's why I said he's gonna set everything in its right place, in its order. Y'all see that? So yeah, y'all be servants in the kingdom here. But all that they taught you in church, or you die and you go to heaven. Where does it say that in the Bible?
No, found it yet.
It's to tell you that Lazarus went into Abraham's bosom. He was kicking it with Abraham, but ain't none of it told him. Now remember, in my father's house were many mansions, right? Abraham got him a room up there. You know what I mean? He got a room in one of the Most High houses, but it don't tell you that nobody was getting to hang out with the Most High buddy.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that ain't what the church is trying to promise people. They're going to actually be in heaven. That ain't promised to you. Nope. You know what I mean? You got paradise, you got torment. You see that? But to actually be in the fourth dimension, that's, for one, you flesh and blood can't inherit that place. So you can't go there as a human being. You got to be dead. Your spirit got to go up there. All right? That's where your spirit go when you die. And then you get your judgment, or you get sent back. All right? But you basically return to the source. You return back It's like the best way I can explain it is when you see a little water droplet kind of rolling down your windshield, right? And then it fall off the car and it land in the puddle. It becomes part of the puddle. You can't tell that from the rest of it, right? You can't find that droplet in the, you know what I mean? Like, there it is. You know what I mean? It's part of that source again. You see that? And that's how we are, man. We come down here, we live in this body, our spirit goes right back to that source, and you wouldn't tell us from the Most High. That's why he said they're not married or given in marriage, because they're going to become part of that puddle up there. Y'all see that? All right, that's why in Ecclesiastes he uses the water. He talks about the rain cycle and things like that, because that's what you are. You that little droplet he sprinkled on the earth, and then you go back. You see that? But all that we're going to walk on the streets paved with gold and all that, that's for the 144,000. You reading that wrong. You see that? That don't have nothing to do with being in heaven. That's what he put down on earth. That city that comes down, that's 1,500 miles long and wide and tall. See that? But that's how they heal the hurt of the daughter of our people slightly, saying peace, peace, saying you gonna die and go to heaven. You see that? And it kind of gives some of our people hope, but it's hope and a lie. Oh yeah, Jim was a good man. He's dead now. He's in a better place. You better stop that. Don't bet on it, because everybody has sinned. And he said those that have be beaten with many stripes. But at the end of all this, we're gonna get beat for the sins we did do. You understand? You haven't begun to suffer in the past. No, not yet. You trying to get stripes taken off because you ain't begin to suffer for what you did until after death. See that? You better be converting some sinners, man. Until you die and go to heaven. Ain't nobody tell you that. You signed the wrong contract, bro.
You ever read the fine print?
You understand? Yeah, that's. No, you ain't gonna read out loud. Talking to you. No, go ahead, read.
One law and one manner.
Where you at?
Verse 16.
Alright, so in Numbers 15, verse 16. Go ahead.
One law and one manner shall.
One law and one manner. That means they're getting the law as long as they're with you. They're going to get that law. They're going to have to live under that law, but also one manner, meaning they're going to walk like you, talk like you. Around us, when they live around us, like, oh, they appropriating our culture. They're supposed to. That's in their spirit. You see that? One manner. They don't get to be two manner of nations. Now, be like you. They're going to have to appear before me the same way y'all appear before me. They can't appear before me empty, spiritless, with their hands empty. Y'all see that? They got to come with a sacrifice. If they sin, they got to bring that to the priest. They got to give to the priesthood too. You understand? Same law. That's what I said. I don't know where the Black Power movement and the truth came from, man. Because the Bible don't tell you these things. When you read the Bible, it don't tell you these things. Now, so far as what was done in the old school, brothers that have Esau walking up, kissing their feet and all that, that is biblical. That's what it says in the scriptures. It tells you these things. That's why they will quote the scripture in Isaiah. You understand? So we already know that these things are going to happen. We know that place. We know their place. The scriptures from beginning to end haven't changed. That place didn't change. You understand? If they sojourn among us, they had to live under the law, or they get put to death just like we did. There wasn't no difference. So when Paul said that, there's no difference between Jew or Greek, bond or free. Why? Because back in the law, if they sojourned among us, there was no difference. What's the problem? What did Paul rewrite? You show me what Paul rewrote when he said that. There was never a difference. You Black Power, Black Panther faggots invented that. Y'all see that?
The reason they say that today though, because the average so-called heathen or whatever they
They don't keep that. Why? Because we don't keep that to show them. You understand?
I'm saying a few of us that do, but I'm saying
Yeah,
all of them that abide around us.
There you go. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, we got the one or two that come in and he abides by the laws and he does what we do. You understand? But you got the ones out there, right? Well, what's the problem though? They living among niggas too.
So
They in our neighborhoods watching us do what we do, so they emulating that.
But why make a big deal when one big for their own, but when the other ones do that, nobody says anything.
What you mean?
I see you hitting on people when you saying black power and this and that, but hit on all of them because you got the ones talking about every nation, and you got the other ones talking about teaching.
Oh no, bro, we hit on the wicked all day long. You know what I mean? We do that. We this is what has been done.
You're not speaking on them too. Like you gotta speak on all as a whole, like instead of just.
Oh, bro, trust me, I don't pull no punches. He been through the worst of my classes.
Man, my first class. I was sitting there. I said, "Wait, so I'm wicked and evil, and the slavery, even if I wasn't never a slave owner." And then I had the DNA test done. My mom or grandma did. I was like, "Damn, we had some slaves."
Right?
So I've been through it all. I've seen it too.
Yeah, he been through the worst. I don't pull no punches just because somebody new come in or anything like that, bro. You know what I mean? They know we know who the wicked are. We know what they do. We know what they do to this day. We pray against the most wicked of them, the cops, the ones that is knowingly doing this stuff. We pray against them, and then we make sure that our people know that they ain't blameless either. You see that? Because here's the problem. Our thing is to spend more time correcting our own people, and those nations are gonna follow. And that's the point I was making, is we gotta correct our own. We gotta acknowledge our transgressions. So that way when they do sojourn among us, they're not hanging around with niggas that's trying to learn how to Dougie. They're not hanging around with niggas that's cutting crack and teaching their kids how to smoke weed. Because what are they gonna emulate? There ain't no flavor or originality in that race. You notice that, right? So they're gonna feed off of what we give them. So we got to get right. That's why he said judgment must begin in his house first, right? So yeah, if they come in though, and I'm talking about white people cutting babies out of our bellies and stomping them on the ground and everything like that, and they're the devil the Bible speaks of, I'm not gonna be like, oh, no, because most of them know already. The Greeks sought after knowledge while we was looking for a sign. They've been known who they are. Even Paul said, he said, you was a wild olive tree, man. He said, you are a no people. Paul didn't even pull no punches even when he was preaching amongst them. You see that? Like, how you going to call these people a no people? He called them that before the word Caucasoid came out and told them they was a subspecies of humankind. They called themselves worse than what Paul called them. You see that? So we don't pull no punches on nobody, man. Especially not our own, because why? They're the ones that got to get right first. They're the big brother. It's their responsibility why these other nations end up going off into the deep end. Yeah, there were sons of the wicked, right? They conspired against us and everything like that. But when you dealt with the time of David, when we were righteous, when you dealt with the time of Solomon, when we were righteous, why was there peace on earth? Because Big Brother was doing the right thing. You understand? We were holding ours down. We were doing what we were supposed to do in righteousness. And they followed. You understand? They followed and they got put to death. That's just as simple as it was. When he took Saul, he said, look, don't go destroy the sinners, the Amalekites. You understand? Go wipe them out. Hey, go deal with these cats. Go kill them. Go kill the Philistines. And then after that, peace. Why? Because those were the sons of the wicked. They were the ones that were plotting against the wicked. You see that? And then all the other nations was following after what we did. They was trying to watch us. If they came around us, if they dwelt around us, they was trying to act like us. If they came traveling through our land, especially, They had to leave their gods in their land.
And it's just like food too, food, music and stuff, you know?
Yeah, they had to eat the same, do the same.
You got B.B. King and all them, and then Elvis comes out. And then, well, not B.B. King is a little past that, but still, people with Elvis copied somebody.
Yeah.
You got soul food, and then you got northern soul food.
Right. Right. But what was the issue though? What was the issue? Because I don't think I let you get it all out. Huh? No, like help me out, because I want to make sure I'm clear that I'm giving you the right assessment and judgments over here. It's not. That's what we do. You know that. But see, here's the thing. I would rather that than you go home thinking, oh yeah, see, they trying to bring the nations in and do all this. You already know what we do. We don't go out there teaching and trying to make sure white people is listening to us. We out there. You've been out there street teaching with us, right? So you know what we do on the street corners. You know what we do in here. The punches ain't pulled. And that's why you see so few people in the class. Even Israel can't handle it. The punches ain't pulled. We don't, when they come in and they want to be tight-fisted and they want to help out and everything, we do a class on it. You understand? Then you see Jews start walking out the door. Jews start not showing up. Hey, put your hand in the plow. If you ain't doing the work of the Most High, you ain't worthy. Bye. Oh, you a prostitute, you a whore, you playing the whore, you want to sleep with everybody in the congregation and everything. Okay. Then you see that sister, she don't come back. We don't pull no punches. That's why this camp got so few, because many are called, but few are chosen. You understand? That's why Christ had 12 people follow him. 5,000 show up with their families, man. Fill up the whole beach. When he get done talking, 12 followed him. When he fed out that bread and fishes and everything, everybody was there. 7,000 families with their, 7,000 men with their families, right? But when he got done talking, 12.
Those are 12 he chose.
Exactly.
He had other people, but
Yeah, he had 12 and he had a secret 70.
Right, but he tell Motsu to, go to go. But I'm sure there was other people that were.
Yeah, but they had a choice. They could have followed him too.
The 12 who followed him close because he had picked them.
Yeah, but they could have followed him too, though.
Not everywhere, because he even told them, like, go time to,
Bro, there was plenty of men that said, listen, Lord, I'll follow you whithersoever you goest. You understand? He kept his circle small, his tight circle small. Why? Because there was only so many niggas is gonna handle getting told they Satan. Once you start busting out, hey, get thee behind me, Satan. Oh, he treated his people like that? I ain't even applying for that job. Nigga ain't gonna be calling me Satan. I'll whoop his ass. You understand? There's only so many people that's gonna get told how they're gonna die and still hang around you. He told Peter flat out, listen, when you were young, you went wherever you wanted to. But when you're old, other men are gonna carry you where you don't want to go. You see that? He was telling, and then it said, Peter understood that he was telling him in what manner he was going to glorify the Most High, how he was going to die. How many niggas going to hang out with a cat that talks about stuff like that? You know what I mean? Hey, yeah, brother, they going to shoot you in the face for following me. Let's do it. I'm not going to follow you then. I'm going home. That's why he only had 12. Those 12 was the ones that heard all that stuff that was being said about him, and they said, you know what, we still gonna follow you. You understand?
I don't care about.
Huh? There you go. That's why I said we don't sit here worrying, because I can tell you the same thing. We don't sit here worrying about numbers. We ain't trying to fill up the block with niggas dressing all white and they all fake. The hell we need that for? We'll help it. We'll keep Houston running off of 5. We've been doing it for about 10, 11 years now. We'll keep it running off of 5. 5 brothers is strong. And if we see any others that want to go through the process, they can sign the thing, put their name up on the board, and go through the process. But ain't too many brothers are going to be getting told, you effeminate. Nigga, I'm out of here. You understand? You acting like a four-legged little mutt right now. No, you ain't gonna be talking to me like that. Okay, well, then you ain't worthy. You understand? Only the strong is good for this, man. When you watch that movie 300, for one, that was probably too many, but them 300, that represented it really well on that movie because them 300 was the real Greeks. You understand? They were the ones that were the realest among those Greeks, whatever. You understand? Even though we know that the Lacedaemonians was Jews. All right? But those were the realest of the people representing that nation. Why? Because nobody else was ready to die for the next man. Nobody else was ready to say, okay, we're gonna face a million cats, but you got a strategy on how we're gonna beat them? I'm following you. They got that from Gideon. You understand? Look at Gideon's story. He ended up with 300 out of thousands. Them niggas over there like dogs, man, got their face all in the wall. Stand up. Somebody come in and put their dick in your butt, right? Get rid of them, man. They ready to get raped. Get rid of them. Oh, these people doing like this? Okay, get rid of them. And they'll still say, let's do it. You see that? They're not doubtful. They're not faithless. They're not going to leave. So we don't need that here either. We can't have that. You see that? We want real cats. The Most High, because that's what the Most High requires. That's what Christ requires. We want real people that want to do this work. You see that? So they got to put up with the worst that the truth has to the things that we're reading. You understand? And unfortunately, our people fall short of everything we're reading. And they got to swallow that and say, you know what? But I want to get there. And what's it going to take for me to get there? You're going to dwell among others like you. That's going to show you a better example that you should be following. You're going to do all that. I've been presented with that. You know what I mean? You get offered something. Yeah. We're gonna do this, but you just gotta do this, that. Pass. Right? Why? Because it's too much work. Well, for some people, the kingdom of heaven is just too much damn work. You see that? Well, that's cool. You don't deserve the inheritance then. You understand? I mean, it's funny they'll do it out there in the world though. Hey, listen, we're gonna give you we're gonna help you become multi-platinum and make your name go down in history. But you have to eat this plate of doo-doo while Bob busts you in the booty. Okay. Like, wait a minute. When we brought you in the truth, all we said was go sell the oil. You cried about that. Now you grabbing your ankles for Bob? What the hell is wrong with you? Y'all see that? Why? Because the Most High gives that person, that quitter, that's slothful and that faithless, he gives them over to the reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And they think it's okay. They're perfectly cool with doing something that's degrading, filthy, against every natural, moral, and biblical law, right? They'll do that with ease for a carnal reward. You see that? But offer them the kingdom of heaven, they can't see it, so they don't want it. It's really that simple, man. I remember there was we were talking about the wrestlers way back in the day, the old wrestlers, right? But you had the guy IRS, I think, and I think even there was another one that was supposed to be like he was Iranian or something like that. But he would offer people in the crowd money to do some degrading thing, and they would do it. You remember what I'm talking about? He would basically, I was asking because he was in the conversation too.
The Sheik, the $1 Million Man.
With Iron Sheik and $1 Million Man, yeah, they would offer the people in the crowd to do this degrading stuff.
I saw that episode. He was like, he thought he was the girl. He's like, come on, close my eyes for it. And then I was like, damn, I can't believe they showed that on TV.
And they'd throw some money at him and treat him like crap. And niggas would do that. They do it every day. They do it every day in this society. It's a representation. This is what people will do for things that are not even convenient, man. For the kingdom of heaven, they won't do that. They won't even search. All you tell them, look, just read this book. They'll read it to follow Harry Potter. They'll read it to follow the twinkly nigga in the sunlight, Edward, right? They'll read it for that. They'll read a book thicker than the Bible for that, to play to their lust and everything, but hand them the Bible and tell them to read that. Nah, I ain't messing with that. I already know what that Bible do. That tells me I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough, and damn it, people don't like me. It shows me the opposite of all my little positive affirmations that I tell myself in the mirror every day. That's why I like when that scripture says that. That's what I think of, man. It says, whosoever looketh into the perfect law of liberty and then continue doing what he's doing, right? Is like a natural man beholding his face in the glass. Because what's that natural man do? He got crust on his eyes, he got slob on his mouth, he got his hair all messed up, you know what I mean? His whole body smell like booty. And he's still sitting there talking about, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Like, no, nobody like the booty crusty nigga from down the street. Nobody talks good about him. Y'all see that? Nobody ever started praising a person with the phrase, you know that guy that smells like ass? It never ended with, that guy's cool, man. It never ends like that. You understand? But see, people are more comfortable with their little positive affirmations. They love lies than they are with looking in the Bible and seeing, dang, you know what? I gotta measure up, man. I'm not like King David. I'm not like this person. But you got grown niggas that sit there and watch a whole season of Naruto and sit there and be like, I want to be like that. Niggas jumping out of trees and dressing in all black and doing all kinds of weirdness to be like that. But when they read the Bible and it tell them these are actual human beings, this is real. You should do this. Oh no, that takes too much work. You're doing things that are not convenient. They don't even make sense. Y'all see that? Why? Over you didn't get your way? You wanted to bring the Black Power movement into the truth, and oh damn, it don't measure up. Now, did he say that he got us to go and dwell among the nations? Like that was a blessing for us? No, that was a curse to have to dwell among the nations. If they wanted to come into our neighborhood, that's cool. 32:8, right? So there was boundaries for the people. We didn't mess with their lands, and they didn't mess with us. Y'all see that? They didn't come trying to war with us. And once you cross that boundary for war, you already knew you was going to die. Y'all see that? All the nations knew that. That's why they didn't mess with us all the time. Until they knew that we had fallen out of grace. You see? Gold, and his leader told him not to. That's what made him fall. That got a whole bunch of them killed. Okay, let's trick them into doing more stuff like that. Y'all see that? They started conspiring. Look how Esau does. When you look at any of these, their little movies, right? The sea monster comes up out of the sea. They just shot everything at him and everything like that. What they doing? They analyzing what worked and what didn't. Then they start dealing with the other nations, right? Independence Day. They was shooting at the chariots and everything, and nothing was going through, right? And so what they do, they start talking to other nations and start talking to them. And then what? When Will Smith or when the crazy bum guy flew into the thing that was shooting the lasers, right? And it blew up. Then it was like everybody knew. Okay, now we know how to take care of the aliens. That's exactly what they did to Israel, man. As soon as they see that one little thing, oh, that's it. That's their downfall. Tell everybody. That's it.
That's where music comes in, the media comes in. Music is programming, TV programming. You know that song, Mrs. Jones.
Right.
Cheating on her wife and stuff, sneaking around.
They bring it to you like make it sound sexy.
I told you, BET is run by white people.
Yeah.
Oh, act ghetto, shake your booties, wear some tight pants, and sleep with everybody.
put all this stuff in your face because you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough.
Yep.
And that's run by white people. They're doing the same thing they were doing back then. Oh, go steal that gold for me. God's not going to know about it. Shh.
Right? Psalms 83, that's what they did, man. They conspired. All these nations did it. That's why the Chinese did it, the Japanese did it, everybody.
And I don't tell, like, I go out, I advertise for y'all. I don't like street speak or nothing, but if I see somebody, I'll write down the information real quick and give them a little layout of it, you know.
No
this is
doubt.
what's happening. And I'll even tell them myself, Esau's a piece of crap, man. They're the worst people. And I'm like, oh, so what tribe are you? I'm Esau, I'm white. I'm one of those white people.
Right.
But I'm not one of those white people. I'll tell them, you know, there's Gentiles and there's Esau and then there's these people, then there's these people.
Right.
And they lie to you about who you are so that you believe it for all these 200, 300 years since y'all been free. So this is where you should go.
Right.
And they'll tell you the truth of what's going on. They have these black preachers up here.
Now, hold on. I'm going to stop you right here. Where did you learn that example from, though?
Wait, which one? The Esau line?
To basically know that I did my wickedness and I'm trying to atone for it. Where did you learn that example from?
Oh, Bible.
Where did you learn that part of the Bible from?
Oh, here. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand the question. Yeah, here, definitely.
Why? Because you had brothers that was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
See
y'all are teaching me what's right, and I see it, so I know it's right now.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying is we got to get our people getting their stuff together, and then these nations follow. Now it's rare, you know what I mean? It's rare that you gonna see a brother do that, you know what I mean? But it's rare to see an Israelite do it. How do you know? Look around you.
And I've looked around too, and I've heard different preachers. I've heard different preachers, white preachers, black preachers. But then you see them all do some stupid stuff like, oh, well, we got this giant 4-story house. I had a black preacher that was my so-called black preacher that was in my neighborhood.
Right.
2-story house, 5 Cadillacs, like 3-4 people in his family, like all. And I'm like, okay. And then they don't live right, of course. But then there's a white people that do it too. But here is where I finally see people are living right. Y'all aren't driving fancy cars, like $1 million cars, and being stupid. Y'all are showing the right way to go, and that's what I've been looking for years.
Right.
Like 10, 15 years.
And if we did prosper like that, where would it go? You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, because I ain't gonna lie, brothers have seen more money go through their hands than I could even remember. You know what I mean? But it all went back here. It all went back to y'all. You see that? Every dime they done made it at Eastern Oils. Even when we get paid off of Eastern Oils, right? That ends up going right back to the camp.
And that's where it should go.
That's where it should go. That's how a community works. That's how a nation works.
Oh, are those 24 karat gold glasses? I didn't think so.
Not yet. Yeah, even if it did, you'd be like, damn, those $5,000 glasses, how much you pay for them though? Because I wouldn't have got them for that much. They're like, oh, I had to hook up. You know what I mean?
Private jets with their girlfriends. Oh, I'm sorry, wives maybe?
Yeah, I'm like, Creflo Dollar, why you need a $36 million jet? Why you need money for that? You Creflo Dollar, by now they giving you jets just so you'll endorse and just so you can be an endorsement for them. Like, what you need to hit people up for? The movie stars ain't got it. You ain't see George Clooney asking his fans for a $3 million or $36 million jet. Why? Because Boeing would be like, oh, it's George Clooney. Give him a jet. Because as soon as people see him on the jet, they're gonna try to buy jets. You see that? They get that. So what's Creflo Dollar having a problem for? He don't need $36 million for no jet. You understand? He buying more land and more properties. Check out what his net worth is. You really want to know your preachers and if they real or not? Check out their net worth. Don't just look at what they got. Look at their net worth, and then look at yours.
That's all about how they spend it too. Because I look at that stuff. I look at the net worth. I look at what they spend it on. Their expenditures. Everything that's public. I look at it.
Right.
Because Obama, he ate $400 meals. Well, I'm
Yeah.
eating a $10 sandwich. And that's buying a big old stack of cheese, a big old stack of meat, big old thing of bread. That's $10 altogether.
Right.
So my one sandwich probably like 30 cents.
Right.
But you're eating $400 meals and we're starving in the streets?
Yeah.
Huh.
Shoot, $400 meals, but shoot, what did it cost them? What's it gonna cost them for Flint, Michigan? I think it was like $216 million to fix the water in Flint, Michigan. $216 million. They said the Army spends that, so they could have better. So at least it's not gonna look like. Yeah. It's rare you're gonna find that. You see that? It's rare that you're gonna find an Israelite that's gonna do that for his own people. You see? So we gotta know these things, man. The whole reason black people, why is it gonna be Chinese people, why is it gonna be certain what he doing? Because we heard the Most High's with him. They gonna have to swallow all their pride, man. But guess what? So is every Israelite underneath those 144 had to teach me. What the hell are you talking about? That ain't in the scriptures. It's going to be rare to find Israelites that you're going to get to be shown, hey, you need a teacher. Hey, you got to stop being wicked as hell. Their own madness. Oh, yeah, I can get drunk on the Sabbath. Where you see that at? That's not in the Bible. Y'all see that? It's going to be rare to find Israelites that are going to be of Israel. That's why it's only going to be 144,000 chosen, man. Out of what, 3 billion Israelites? You're going to have 144,000 that are chosen. The rest is just going to be the ruled. They're not going to be the rulers. They're going to be the ruled. You understand? Why? Because those 144,000 out of the whole earth is going to be the rare ones, man. The ones that said, you know what, I ain't doing this for money. I'm not doing this for fame, fortune, riches. The word that rhymes with riches. None of that. You understand? It's going to be about this truth. And to be able to guide my people with wisdom, like Solomon said. Yep. Where we at? Get this knocked out.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 17. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land whither I bring you. Verse 19. Then it shall be that when ye eat of the bread of the land, ye shall offer up an heave offering unto the Lord. Verse 20. Ye shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for an heave offering, as ye do the heave offering of the threshing floor of your dough, ye shall give unto the Lord an heave of ferning.
Where you at?
Verse 21.
Heave offering. Oh.
Heave offering in your generations. Verse 22. And if ye have erred and not observed all these commandments which the Lord hath spoken unto Moses, verse 23, even all that the Lord hath commanded you by the hand of Moses. Hand of Moses. From the day that the Lord commanded Moses, and henceforward among your generations. Verse 24. Then it shall be, if aught be committed by ignorance without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall offer one young bullock for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor unto the Lord, offering with his meat offering and his drink offering according to the manner, and one kid of the goats for a sin of offering. Verse 25. And the priest shall make an anointment for all
atonement.
atonement children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it is ignorance, and they shall bring their offering, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord, and their sin offering before the Lord for their ignorance. Verse 26, and it shall be forgiven all the congregations of the children of Israel, and the stranger that sojourneth among them, seeing all the people were in ignorance. In ignorance.
I like that though.
But it's the same thing.
I like the way he said ignorance, because it really sounds like you just ignoring the truth.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't even correct it for a little bit.
I like the way he said it.
Yeah, you on verse 26 now.
And it shall be forgiven all the congregations of the children of Israel, and the stranger of sojourneth among them, seeing all the people were ignorant. Verse 27, and if any soul sin through ignorance, then he shall bring a she-goat of the first year for a sin offering. Verse 28, and the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly, when he sinneth by ignorance before the Lord, to make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. Verse 29, ye shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them. Verse 30, but the soul that doeth aught
presumptuously,
whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among the people.
Right, so when the person does these sins and they didn't know, they weren't told the law yet and everything like that, they gotta go and offer before the priest that goat of the first year, right? That's their sin offering, then they know. All right, so there was a smaller sentence for that first time offense. All right, but when you come here to America, right? You run a stop sign, they give you the $500 ticket. You know what I mean? Or you do the not Colorado, they would get you for a rolling stop. You know what I mean? Or you got the U-turns. Like here, they got signs that tell you, no U-turn. But if you're at a place where there's not a sign, then you don't have to. You can do a U-turn, right? In some places they don't have the signs, but they just tell you it's illegal to U-turn everywhere, right? But you don't learn that because they don't put a sign out that says no U-turns. So you don't learn that until you end up doing the U-turn, the cop pull you over, and then you just give you the ticket like you've been. Y'all see that? So the Most High was just. You already knew that was a different sentence. You were cut off from among the people. Y'all see that? All right, go ahead.
Verse 30. Verse 31. Because he hath despised the word of the Lord, and hath broken his commandment, that soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. Verse 32. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, verse 33, and they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto the
sticks on the Sabbath day. All right. Now you got a lot of cats that they use this to say, see, you weren't even supposed to be gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. No, look at the situation, bro. All the rest of Israel was at the tabernacle. All the rest of Israel was congregated with Moses, right? So you got the patrols, that are going around to keep it, and they catch the man out there. Why you ain't with the people? Why you ain't? Oh, that's why I slept with my neighbor's wife. That he's showing them what. Now, because he had missed everything we read from Numbers 1 all the way up until this point, guess what? Well, you gonna see. Read on.
Verse 35. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death.
There you go. Why did Most High say that? Because he's useless right now. He wasn't filled with my law. The nigga was out gathering sticks. This is the first time I'm dropping the law to all Israel. I'm giving you all point for point how you deal with this. He gonna be one of them niggas talking about trying to bring the Black Power movement. Hey, what's these strangers doing trying to offer up sacrifices? He gonna be the first one because he missed the whole damn conversation. Just kill him, man. He's useless. You see that? He's not filled with my law. He hasn't been told my law, and I ain't gonna sit here and repeat myself just for this one ignorant idiot. I told everybody to get here, to be in the congregation, right? It's like we send out the text, hey, every brother and sister need to be in class. Then you look at Snapchat and she over here at the bar. But then Monday come around and, well, yeah, we're doing this now. Well, why are we doing that? You know what, sis? If you were here instead of at the bar on Friday, you would have caught all this. We ain't gonna sit here and explain everything to you. You just gotta catch up, figure it out. You see that? Wasn't no different back then, except the Most High was a little more severe. Why? Because he was giving out the law that was going to be read throughout your generations. So you was gonna be that one nigga that didn't have nothing to teach his kids because you want to gather some sticks. Because you thought you needed sticks more than you needed the words coming out of Christ's mouth. So we got to look at the surroundings of these situations, man. Because when these cats say, oh, well, they put the man to death for gathering sticks on the Sabbath. It wasn't because of him doing some good works. It was because he was ignoring the Most High. Like he kept reading it ignorantly, right? He was ignoring the Most High to go deal with sticks. Like, yeah, the Most High over there reading the law, but I'm going to go gather sticks. Mm-hmm. Y'all see that? That's not the same as I got a job that I already been had and this is how I feed my family. You know what I mean? No, this is, I don't want to hear the law of the Most High. I would rather go gather sticks. Look at the message he's sending to the Most High. Y'all see that? That's like that would be like, oh, we would understand it if it said, yeah, the man went up on the top of Mount Sinai and stuck his middle finger in the air to the sky while Moses was in the middle talking with the Most High. You would understand, okay, yeah, he should be put to death, right? Okay, well, this is what that symbolism was I'm gonna go gather sticks, man, screw you. Y'all see that? So yeah, he got put to death. But when you get to Christ, and it says, my Father worketh hitherto, so I work. Difference in the right. Sticks. He wasn't worried about listening to the word of the Most High. Christ was teaching the word of the Most High. We work on the Sabbath. We're doing it right now. Why? Because we're teaching the word of the Most High. That's why we don't get put to death for that work. You see that? That we don't get, when the priests were changing money with people to get their sacrifices and do all that stuff, and doing that stuff on the Sabbath. Why didn't they get put to death? That was work. Why? Because that was the work of the Most High. That was going to be able to, that was something good that would be taught to your generations. When your kids saw that, Dad, why we cleaning this golden statue of these angels? Well, those represent the cherubim that's up in heaven above the Most High's throne. This is this. This is why we do this. Everything the Most High do is sanctified with blood. So this is why we got to do this. Oh, okay. Then when they raise their kids, they could teach them the same thing because Pops taught them right. While Yeah, he don't. Brothers doing this on the Sabbath, and we had cats in the Old Testament getting killed for gathering sticks. And don't be using that New Testament on me. Okay, well, let's go to the Old Testament. Let's read. This man was killed for gathering sticks. What was happening for the first 13, 14 chapters up until they found him gathering sticks? Y'all see that? All right, so context, very important. Oh, go ahead, read on.
Congregation.
Reader 6 through
Numbers 15 of their garments, their generations, and that they put commandments of the Lord, that ye see your own heart.
Commandments. Get what the rest. No, this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
After which ye use to God and of Egypt to Lord your chapter.
Anyway, fringes. 16.
Son sent out name and lodge.
Now this Rahab is the same one in Christ's lineage in Matthew chapter 1. This whole David's lineage. So or Christ lineage. He came from Mary or Joseph, excuse me. All right. We know he came from Joseph, but if he got agree murderer and was not two in his lineage. Right. See that? So whether he came from Mary or from Joseph, that he was going to be in sin that my mother conceived me. Y'all see that? But he didn't do any of the sin that the most accounts to him, having done no good or evil. See that? When you're a child, you think you do and think as children. So you're not at the age of accountability. So Christ, all the way to his age of accountability, was still conceived in sin like everybody else, man. Y'all see that? But at the age of accountability, he did no sin. At that age where, okay, I know better, that age where I'm accountable, I'm not a child and everything, he did no sin. All right, and before that, when you were a kid, you ain't really interested in sleeping with another nigga's wife. They just, you know what I mean? Ooh, Miss Johnson got a fat ass. You ain't doing that when you're 8.
No.
Until you get here. Until you get to America. Right? And then the teacher having sex with the kids. And the kid ain't yelling out, so obviously he having a good time. Right? Go ahead.
Joshua chapter 2, verse 2. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took 2 men and hid them, and said thus, There came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were. Verse 5. And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, and the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, and ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax.
Right, so these two men, they came into the city. They came into, this is Jericho, right?
Come.
They came into Jericho. They were spying it out, seeing what the weak spots were, trying to see how they were going to attack this place, because Jericho had a big wall around it, and it was too hard to take. So they had to go in as spies and try to see if there was any weaknesses in the city. All right. Now, when they got there, the harlot Rahab, she saw the spirit on them, so she took them in. And when the men of the city were like, "Hey, there's some spies in here. We seen them," right? She's like, "Oh, they went on down the block," but she had them hid on the roof. Okay. All right. So just to make sure everybody's caught up. I know sometimes the wording of these things, when we're reading, it's not always sticking with everybody. So I want to make sure that the stories and the visuals and everything are clear to y'all. All right, that's the point. It's not just to read it; it's to make it clear, make it where you can actually put yourself in these shoes, because that's how you get the understanding. All right, you get to live through their experiences and get understanding.
Come.
Go ahead.
Which he had laid in order upon the roof. Verse 7. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the forts. And as soon as they which pursued after them were gone, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And she said unto them, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea for you, when ye came out of the land of Egypt, that ye did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Agag.
See, so the fear that the nations had was because they heard about what the Most High did for us. No, we heard what y'all did to that King of Sihon. We heard what you did to these guys. We heard what you did to the king of the Amorites and the kings of these nations. Y'all see that? So they was already shook. The people in Jericho, she was telling them, like, they scared in here. That's why they built the damn wall. They're scared of y'all, man. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our heart did melt.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine being another nation, and you know this other nation is migrating towards you, and you be like, hey, what's up with Dallas? I haven't heard nothing about them no more. There ain't no Dallas. What? Yeah, there's some niggas coming this way, and Dallas is gone. Be like, what the hell? Yeah, they ran all through Dallas. There ain't a man, a woman, a child, there ain't a dog running through the streets of Dallas after them. You'd be like, oh, hell no. What they got? they got a disease or something? What's wrong? No, they just killed everything. You'd be like, nigga, we need a wall around Houston. Where Donald Trump at? Right? Yeah, get the hell up out of here, right? You'd be shook, right? Where can we run? Nowhere. They coming to take over all of Texas. I'm getting the hell out of Texas then. You see that? Like, we ain't fighting these cats. Right. This is what went before us. People already knew, like, what happened to Egypt? Oh, there ain't no Egypt. Hey, man, call the Egyptian army, man. We got these Hebrews coming. Ain't no Egyptian army. They beat the Egyptian army without even fighting the Egyptian army. Yeah. Then they took all their weapons. So now it was a bunch of slaves that beat the Egyptian armies, and now it's a bunch of slaves with weapons. coming after our whole land.
Right.
But, in the meantime, they don't ran through the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites. They don't ran through the Amalekites. Everybody. And they coming for us. And all we got is a wall? Yeah. Yeah, we got a wall. Y'all see that? You watch that Game of Thrones. I think when I remember the first season, right? First and second season. They had them things, the ice things that was supposed to be coming after them, right? And before the things even came, everybody was shook in the camp. You know what I mean? Even though they had a wall, it was down, it's like a mile up, right? People coming, they was shook on that wall. You understand? Right. This is showing you this is giving you a little perspective on the times. All right? I like perspective on the times because that way you can gain that this nation of people is coming your way, and you done heard that they done utterly. Now, some of our people, you know, and even online and stuff, you know, we come from all walks of life. You know what I mean? We got some brothers that's low education, some sisters low education, stuff like that. So I like to be able to clarify, you know, some of the stuff, because you're reading this in the these and thous and stuff like that. And you got to be sometimes in a high that British literature type of writing. But, you know what I mean? Some of us was street, so I explained it like that. What's that?
When I was watching you guys for like a long time, even before I came for years. But before that, like when I first started reading the Bible, and then I went back to school like for ACC, and I always been good in math and science and everything. So I'm thinking, you know how they make you take the entrance exam to see where you going. I actually placed high in reading, which I never thought, because in school I was with an idea all my years in going to these schools out here.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I look at there. You know what I mean? It's like I was school textbook. You know what I mean? So it in my understanding of other things. Oh yeah, I get this. So I'm in third grade. I'm over here reading the Frogmen of World War II. Yeah.
Around, and when I finish reading, then I go and look it up. You know what I'm saying? First when I be reading, what I would do, because I didn't know the word, I did like what they taught me eventually, look at the word before and after. Mm-hmm. And God gave me the understanding. But I still go look at it
that way. You know what I mean? We didn't have that privilege. You know what I mean? Some of us were raised without the scripture. Some of us were raised with no understanding of the Bible. So now that we get in there, it's like, whoa, you're reading it in all this technical language. Break it down for me. What just happened right there? You see that? So we do it for every educational level. See that? But then I also like to bring out things that people of a higher educational level miss. Like, you see that? You read right over it. You put yourself there, but did you think about being in that situation for real? You know what I mean? You read over the thing about the sticks, right? And he should have been put to death. You ain't supposed to work on the Sabbath. Why was he put to death for working on the Sabbath? You see that? Why was that man when there was plenty of other people that was working on the Sabbath? What about the niggas that found him? What were they doing? They were on patrol. You know, they were doing work. You see that? They were patrolling the camp. Okay, if I got all Israel gathered into one spot, right? Then who's the cats that found it? They're the watchmen. If the watchmen don't blow the horn, right? Yeah. Well, who's that? That's the watchman got to work every damn day. He got to watch. You understand? Somebody got to be watching all the time. That's work. Why we ain't trying to stone them? Because they was doing the good work. Now we understand these things in the law. We get that. We never really, but did we ever put ourselves in this situation and say, let me look at all the surroundings. Let me look at the whole perspective. Because remember when we said that we found or when the scripture said they found the woman in adultery, in the very act. Okay, yeah, that's a death-worthy offense, but who are these niggas that caught her in the very act of adultery? These are the same niggas that didn't obey Leviticus 19-17 and rebuked their neighbor. You understand? Before she got into the act. Right, like if you roll up on two people having sex, you ain't just gonna automatically think they committed adultery, right? You'd be like, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But if you saw that woman and you was following her, trying to see where she was going, and then she met up with a dude that you know what I mean? And you probably hit off that lady before, and you let her ass go. You know what I mean? And now you stalking her, trying to get a little something, and she off to the next one. And you grab her up. We caught her in adultery in the very act. So that means you followed her around, waited till she hopped on it, and then you decided to catch her up.
Mm-hmm.
Why you didn't check her before she went in the door?
Right.
Why you didn't obey the law? Well, he who was without sin cast the first stone. See that? Okay, well, when we look at that, we look at the perspective of the people that caught her. Right? Now we got to look at the perspective of the people that caught this man gathering the sticks. What the hell were they doing out there? They were supposed to be in the congregation too. No, they weren't. Those are the watchmen. Those are the ones who were supposed to be watching to make sure there were no invaders. And look, say like, what's he doing out here? What you doing out here? I'm gathering sticks. You know everybody else back over there hearing the law of God, right? The Most High actually speaking to people. We just got sent out here to make sure everybody was good. We just doing our job.
Kind of like what y'all taught us the other night, like about the kings, like the men that's under them gonna be like them.
Right.
So while they out there patrolling, they already had it. If not, it's gonna be related to them at a later time.
Right. Exactly. As the officer of the people, or as the judge of the people, so are his officers. They was going to get told. They was going to get that word. You know what I mean? But this guy out here gathering sticks is clearly in violation of the law. He clearly disdained the law, despised the law. You see that? Stone his ass. See, if we put ourselves in the situation and the surroundings, then we get understanding. All right? You was going to say something?
I was gonna say maybe like when the people when they went to go find him, maybe the Most High told them to go find him.
Right.
Because he sees everything.
You got that too. Right? He does see everything. Where we at?
The end of verse 10.
All right. So we're Joshua.
Joshua chapter 2, verse 11.
All right.
And as soon as we heard these things, our heart did melt. Neither there remained any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Verse 12. Now therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord.
Check this out. Right? The nation, this person of another nation, they heard about what the Most High did for us and they feared. Y'all see that? They got in doubt of themselves and everything like that. All we did was see some giants and got afraid.
Yeah.
Now these cats lived in the land where the giants were at. They were part of this. Part of the promised land we was conquering was this city. All right, Jericho was part of that. So you had giants around them all the time. They weren't afraid of the giants. They was living amongst them. Y'all see that?
Done.
But when they heard about us, when they heard about the Most High, that's when they feared. Now, this is the nations. But you got Israel, got the Most High with them, and they fearing giants backward. Y'all see that? Where we at?
Joshua chapter 2, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Now therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token. 13. And that ye will save alive my father, and my mother, and my brethren, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. 14. And the men answered her, Our life is yours. If ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee,
Basically, you saved our life. You didn't. If you don't talk about us being here, you don't saved our life. So when we conquer this land, when that happens, we're gonna make sure you good. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. 16. And she said unto them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourself 3 days there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned, and afterwards may ye go your way.
Right. All right. So, any questions on any of that?
La.
All right. But yeah, you answered. Oh, okay, we answered that. When we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by, and thy mother and thy brethren, get them in this house. Gather everybody you trying to save, all your household. Get them in this house. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head. 20. And if thou utter this, our business, then we will be quit of thine oath, which said, according unto your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. See, nations, man, their obedience, it's like, okay, I'm doing that to save my life. Israel, to save their life? No, I don't believe in that Bible, but it just told you why your sons and daughters are dying in the streets. Yeah, I hate that our sons and daughters are dying in the streets. Okay, well, you need to read the Bible. Oh, I ain't about that Bible. Like, we're just talking in circles now.
Right.
I told you your sons and daughters are dying in the streets because you won't read the Bible. You tired of your sons and daughters dying in the streets, but you don't want to read the Bible. Your sons and daughters keep dying in the streets. You more tired of the sons and daughters dying in the streets, but still don't want to read the Bible. Right? But the nation will sit there and be like, oh, tie the line? Okay, I'll do that. Let me save my life. Let me save my family. I'll do exactly what this man said. Now, I ain't going to be taught by no man. Ain't no man going to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that?
Come.
Madness, man. Go ahead.
You.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where we at?
Verse 20.
Yeah, 21. There we go. And she said, according unto your word, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain, and abode there 3 days until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the two men returned and descended up from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Joshua the son of Nun, and told him all things that befell them. And they said unto Joshua, truly, the Most High hath delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us.
That's right.
So he brought back the good report.
That's right.
Not, hey, listen, Joshua, bruh. You know, what's his name? Sun Tzu said not to fight uphill battles. No, I said they descended from the mountain, so that means Jericho was on the mountaintop, right? They didn't say, oh, we're going to be fighting uphill, man, and the walls, man, they got walls. Once we get up the hill, then we're going to try to climb the wall. And the whole time, they'll be able to shoot down at us, and gravity's going to help them. Arrows, man, they're going to fly right through us. They're going to kill all of us. Right? They didn't do that. It was like, nah, Most High done sent his fear in the land. The harlot done told us, man, everybody shook. All we got to do is walk up there.
Mm-hmm.
All we got to do is go, and they're going to run away. Y'all see that? What's that?
The last time when you were talking about the walls, about the empire throne stuff, I was thinking because they can't be afraid because they can't be like the wall's gonna help them because Israel already knock down the wall by yelling.
This is that place. This is that place that happens.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you were talking about that the people are gonna be afraid, and the people are gonna have like they're like I'm gonna have a wall.
Right.
And then like I was like, that's not gonna affect them. They already broke down the wall with their voice.
Right. Well, this is where they broke down the wall with their voice. That don't happen till later. But at the same time, they were scared because in that even though they were behind those walls, they already know that the Hebrews done wiped out the Egyptians. They done wiped out the Amorites. They done wiped out the king of Sihon. Was like I think he was 9 cubits. You know what I mean? He slept on an iron bed. He slept on a bed made out of iron, man. You know what I mean? So but they were scared because they wiped them out to the last dog in the street. You understand? So that's what they were scared of, even inside the wall. Right? Then when we got to the wall, that come later. You know how they marched around it 7 times and yelled and did all that, and the wall fell down. Let's see. For Du Bois, not to clown you or not, but it says, brother, can I chop off my slaves' hands and feet? Because it is written, double must be repaid back unto them. It also is written that vengeance is his, he will repay. All right? And it's not going to make a very good slave. If he ain't got no hands and no feet, what you going to tell him to get? It's going to take a little longer than your average slave, is all I'm saying, you know. But you do what you want. It's going to be your slave, man. You know what I mean? But remember this, we're going to be righteous. We're going to be righteous. We're not going to be, we ourselves, there's going to be a time where we're going to be doing to them as they did to us. True. But there's also going to be a time where they're going to be just servants. And we're going to deal with our servants righteously according to the law, which meant, okay, if you had a servant and you knocked his eye out, you had to restore eye for eye, tooth for tooth. You had to pay him for that eye. You understand? So we're going to go back to that law. Know that. So you got to pick your moments. All right? When Christ says, listen, go through the city and slay, and when he says, listen, everybody that put you into captivity, go find them and make them captives, and anybody that kills your forefathers and all that, go kill them. Most of that is going to be the angels doing that. All right? But he's going to turn that where it's going to be a lot of us doing that too. But now there's going to be a time where when we're in our kingdom, they're just going to be your servants, man. They're going to be your nursing fathers and your nursing mothers in Isaiah 60. Right? So you really going to be concerned with chopping their hands and feet off? No, you're going to be in your kingdom. You see that? I'm going to be outside swimming, man. Me and my tigers. You know what I mean? I'm going to be in my kingdom. I ain't going to be worried about chopping nobody's hands off. You know what I mean? You ain't get my golden floor bloody. You understand? Well, have me a down swimming pool made out of straight up Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? And no peeing in the pool. You know? I'm gonna be good. So I ain't gonna be worried about chopping nobody's hands off and all that.
This guy had red Kool-Aid. Why is it green?
Right? That'd be a whole swimming pool full of pomegranate juice. You understand? I ain't gonna be worried about chopping off no hands and feet, man. I'm just gonna be making sure, hey, go get my towel. Use your hands. All right? But again, you know what I mean? That's gonna be up to you. That's gonna be your servant, man. You understand? The scriptures also tell you if you have an evil servant, you make his sides to bleed. So we're gonna be going back to that. If the servant decide he's gonna start breaking stuff on purpose and acting like he didn't hear nothing and doing all this, you're gonna be whooping his ass too. All right? So in whatever position. Now, if you want him to be an ottoman in the kingdom, like you just want something to kick your feet up on, then chop his hands and feet off. So that way he can make a better table or ottoman. You know what I mean? You just sit there. Right? Yeah. I watched it was some video, man. I seen on Facebook, man, and the dude is sitting on top of this white girl. she in a bra and panties, and the dude sitting on top of her eating his Cheerios and doing the interview. And he's like, yeah, y'all hating on me for da 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 da. He's like, but I'm handling my business, da da da. I'm like, you sitting on a human being right now, right? You just sitting right on her back, man. I'm like, damn, this nigga's trying to live in the kingdom right now, but in niggerism, man. No, he was just sitting on her, sitting, like, not with like the H, but sitting on her, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was like she was a chair, man. Yeah, I was like, well, hey, if that's comfortable, man, I'm gonna get me one of those in the kingdom. You know what I mean? I might try that out. Can other nations join camps, and will non-Israelites be able to street teach? Yeah, I mean, we just read it. They're going to have to carry out our mannerism. Where were we at when we read that? It was in Numbers?
Yeah, Numbers.
But it said they was going to have one law and one manner. That means they're going to be doing like, it's not going to be like it said in Genesis 25, right? He talked about two nations are in your womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from your bowels. No, if they're going to live among us and not be killed, then they're going to have our manners also.
It was Numbers 15.
Numbers 15? Right. What's that?
But then, like, through most of the scripture, not to try to separate them, because I know don't they keep the custom. He said he don't impress them, but count them brethren.
Yeah.
But I never seen them teaching nowhere in there. Cause remember, like when Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch or Cornelius with Peter, the Most High always sent them back. To an Israelite for them to be taught, and not them to go and be teaching.
Right. Now, here's the thing, though. You got people like Titus, and again, that's still to be determined. His father was a Greek. But you think Paul sent him to go teach Israelites? No, he sent him off to his people to go teach his people. Go spread the word about Christ among his people.
Right.
You understand?
Part of why they asking the question, would they be able to street teach, seeing that when we out there for the awakening of our people.
Yeah, we might. If we do, we have them out there holding signs, man. Like in San Antonio, they got an Edomite out there. He hold up signs. You know what I mean? But he ain't up there on the podium breaking down stuff. You know what I mean? That's not their position. All right. The service Romans 9 gives you the position of these nations. All right. It gives you the position of an Israelite. To us pertain the service of God, the giving of the law, all that stuff like that. That's to us. That ain't to the nations.
That would make me start watching a few camps when I had seen that, but they actually had them like reading and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm answering it because people might just be tuning in and they seen old boy up here. He wasn't teaching; he was reading. You know what I mean? We needed a reader. You read. You see that? Make sure the cat's circumcised. Okay, you come up here and read. We do that amongst Israel. You circumcised. Okay, then you can come up and read. If you're not, you got to get that snip before you can come up here to read, to do any of that. You see that? Then on top of it, okay, you up here, you're reading. Okay, no breakdowns. Go back down, sit down. You understand? That's why when he would raise his hand like he was gonna break something down. No, read, because you're not doing that. That's not your place. You see that? So just in case anybody was tuning in or whatever, other nations joined camps. They joined ours originally. Our original camp when we came out of Egypt, they was with us. We had a mixed multitude. And will non-Israelites be able to street teach? No. They can be out there with street teachers. They can be holding posts. They can be holding signs. They can be doing any of that other stuff. But no, they're not out there to be teaching. All right? That service belongs to Israelites. That was just a question.
Now we're jumping.
Hebrews chapter 3, verse 7. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 7. Everybody got it? All right. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 7. Wherefore, as the true Spirit saith, today, if you will hear his voice, Harden not your hearts, as in the provocation, in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. Wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. For we are made partakers of Yahushua, if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. While it is said, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation. For some, when they had heard, did provoke. Howbeit, not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. Howbeit, not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. Right. So not everybody was acting stiff-necked and rebellious. You understand? Not everybody that came out was acting like all them niggas did in the wilderness. But the ones that did, the ones that wanted to provoke the Most High, he had them put to death. The ones that want to provoke him now, he's going to have them put to death. The jump rope Israelites, the double Dutch Israelites, in the truth, out the truth, in the truth, out the truth. Right? I'm faithful. I don't believe nothing. I'm faithful. This ain't the spirit. I'm faithful. You know what I mean? All that, you out. Bye. You understand? He's not going to play with that, just like he did with them back then. He don't play with that. Well, we'll see. For some, when they had heard, did provoke. Howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Huh? Oh, I thought I heard somebody say something. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness? And to whom sware he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believed not? See, I think this is one of them scriptures that I use, man, because remember, his rest is that paradise, man. Whether you're going to get into the kingdom of heaven or not, whether you're going to be in that kingdom or not. But what got you out of his rest? What got you kicked out of paradise? What got you kicked out of Eden? When you didn't believe. Them that believe not. See that? The doubters. When you doubt, that gets you kicked out of paradise, man. You got us kicked out of the promised land. That was that forbidden fruit we partook in, man. That serpent, he put doubt in Eve. That was the fruit. That spiritual fruit. That fruit of the spirit that she partook in. It was a negative fruit of the spirit. Doubt. And it got her kicked out of Eden, man. And it got Adam kicked out of Eden because they doubted the word of the Most High. That's why I said, what happened after that? They looked down, they saw that they was naked and all this stuff. What did it mean that he saw a dingling was hanging out? No. Brothers had 2-3 foot strongs back then, so you would know it was hanging out. You understand? Like you would know that. You would trip over it. That wasn't it. No. They saw that they was exposed, that they had sinned against the Most High, man. Y'all see that? And they woke up to that. And they started to doubt. They started to doubt even more. Well, oh man, we gotta hide from him because he ain't gonna be with us no more. He ain't gonna be on our side. He ain't gonna let us live here. What about confess? Ask for repentance. You've been walking with the Most High in the garden. You've been walking with him in the garden all that time. Right? So he been talking with you. You know him. Right. You know he might be like, yeah, you messed up. You know what? I'm gonna erase that as long as you go and sin no more. What's that?
He's saying it like the way you described it. So what was the tunic or the clothes that the apron that Most High made represent?
When it said he gave them coats of skins, right? That's a sacrifice. That was the first animal sacrifice for sin. You see that? What do you do with the animal after you done killed it and slaughtered it, right? You wearing those skins. He gave that as a covering. It's just a representation that was a cover, that then he gave them an animal as a covering, which is what the sacrificial laws are. It's an animal covering your sins. You see that? He gave them coats of skins, coverings. That's why when he goes into Isaiah, he says, woe to them that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. You see that? They make strength their arm. They don't cover with the covering that's my spirit. They depend on the flesh. You see that? They depend on an animal sacrifice when their spirit should have been contrite with the Most High. See, because when you deal with that situation, you look at it, Adam doubted, right? And then, instead of him coming contrite and saying, I'm sorry, I messed up, what'd he do? Try to blame the Most High. See that? He could have turned that whole situation around. What you think the Most High questioned him for instead of kicking him out? He didn't know what they did? He was giving them a chance, man. He was giving them a chance to tell the truth, confess, and come back humble. He always does that, man. He's done it since the beginning. Always gave us a chance. When you look at Saul, he always gave Saul a chance to repent. Even Esau, man. Even Esau, up until a certain point, had a chance to where he could have been like, I'm sorry, I messed up. But what did he do? He kept transgressing, kept hating. You see that? The man Esau even reconciled with Jacob, but his kids was heated over it. His kids was hating Jacob for it. And they set it up. When you read the Josephus, they set up to try to kill Jacob some more. And put their kids in their minds and put that into them to hate them. You see that? Like they do today, right? He got cut off in traffic by a Negro, and then he go what? Teach his kids, hey, them niggas ain't no good. They're born with tails, da-da-da. Next thing you know, you got this little 8-year-old running around talking about, yeah, niggas is born with tails.
Josephus, when he the one, like he was a Jew, but he helped us go into slavery or something?
No, he was a Jew. He was a historian, right? But Titus and Vespasian kept him alive and kept him living under them because he kept keeping the records of Israel and the other nations. You see that? And the Romans like to do that. They like to have people as trophies. They like to, America does it, keep people as trophies so that way they can live to tell the tale. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. They make phrases like that. We just wipe everybody out because the glory's going to go to the Most High. Right. We don't need nobody telling the tale. You going to be like, where's the Amalekites at? They gone. We live here now.
That makes sense how you just said that because, like you say, when the Most High do something, everybody in the world already know, so before it comes. But it kind of like how when Satan do it, he got to send somebody, like how when Job got stuff started getting taken from him, when the Most High gave him permission, he ought to leave, like you say, that token or whatever, that one person to go back to.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is, man. You know what I mean? Oh, everybody died, and I'm alone live to tell you, right? Why? Because Satan got to do that. You know what I mean? He got to brag about it. He got to make it known that it was him. That's how Job knew. Like, maybe if it was of the Most High, he would have just utterly wiped out everything. You see that? Yeah, why he leave you alive? Most High ain't got to brag about nothing. You know it's the Most High. Fire came down from heaven, destroyed everything. That was the Most High. Ain't nobody had to come and be with soot on them and like, I'm the only one to live. No, if it was the Most High, he would have done it right. We would just know. We would be like, hey, where's S.O.W or whatever? There ain't no S.O.W. See that smoke? That's S.O.W. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen with America. That's why he said there's going to be none remaining in the house of Esau. When America get nuked, you're going to be like, yeah, America. What's America? Oh, yeah, see that smoke over there? That was America. Satan got to brag. It's him. You see that?
I think you're at verse 19.
Us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. See that? So there's a promise to get there. Y'all see that? All right.
That's it.
Let's see. of what is. Yeah, Exodus 3. Still holy. Yeah, we start there. Whoever got it. Let's see.
You said the definition of holy?
Yeah, hold that. Now we're going to read Exodus chapter 3, verse 1 through 5. Read that.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. The flock of
Jethro,
his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of God, even Horeb, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a fire.
Right, so this angel
was not consumed.
Go ahead.
And Moses said, I will now turn aside, and called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Verse 5. And he said, Draw shoes from off the whereon thou standest is holy ground.
Right, so and he was known as the Most High. All right. Anytime somebody came around that, they had to be holy. They couldn't have no sheep doo-doo all over the bottom of their sandals and walk up in the presence of the Holy of Holies. You understand? So this was before. Remember, this is before he set up the Holy of Holies, the tabernacle. This is when he's meeting. Make sure you're holy. Make sure you're clean. You see that? Don't wear no shoes in my house. Now look up the word holy.
Holy. Consecrated.
What?
Consecrated.
Consecrated. All right, go ahead.
Or set apart.
Or set apart. All right. Holiness, talking about cleanliness. I set this apart for cleanliness. Take your shoes off, man. Right?
Yeah, there's people like
you know how niggas get, man. Hey, don't look, I just got this carpet. Don't walk on the ground. What? What's that?
Could they appreciate that one? They said, "Walk like we been world like with the Joshua 1."
But it's like this. Just think of the angel as doing like this. Your mama just mopped the floor. Do you get to walk in that house? No. Why? I just cleaned the floor. Right? Everything like that, you can walk on my floor. That's what the angel. This place is holy, man. Don't come in here with your shoes on.
Like the purification of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And see, now that's the carnal aspect also.
To the Most High in kind of way.
Yeah, kind of like that. I'm the authority over you. You wipe your feet before you step to me. Don't try to be away. You know, he used to hang out with. Get all that Egyptian stuff out of your way. He had to humble him. He had to humble Moses. Take your shoes off. Well, if I decide, hell no, nigga, you a burning bush. I ain't talking to you. I ain't taking my shoes off. What's up? Okay, well, you ain't the one. You're not the one. For he was in him. Ain't nobody ready to pass over. Who talks like that but Christ? Y'all see that? He came down and did that. Hey, listen, this is holy. Testing your humility. Okay, I'll talk to the next one. And then he burnt that nigga to a crisp, and Joshua, the son of Nun, saw a burning bush. On to the next one. Huh?
I said it'd have been Aaron because he was already on the way.
Right. Y'all see that? So this is the Most High testing his humility. And that's why he chose Moses, because he took his shoes off. Because he humbled to an authority that was greater than him. Y'all see that? So that was the whole point. But yeah, the holy ground was just a set apart place. Like I said, it was a cleanse online. Anybody else got questions in here?
Does it have to be according to like
No.
this matter?
Hmm.
Alright, like while we was in here, like my son mom was texting me or whatever. And like this weekend like every other weekend, you know, I try to get my children, you know what I'm saying? And this for my youngest, so he'll be 1 in a few days. And I was trying to get him. But she's saying she don't want to deal with me. I'm like, okay, that's fine about the child. So she texted me about he needs a pamper. I said, well, she said, can you send me $25? I said, no, but I can bring the pampers that I have, the wife and other, you know what I'm saying, things that he needs.
Hold that. We'll talk. We're gonna talk. Or you got time after?
Yeah, I got time.
Yeah, because I've been meaning to talk to you after class, but you always gone. So like, I know you got stuff to do, but yeah, because there's a lot of personal questions you need to deal with and everything, and that don't need to go all over. But yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about just little things, give you advice on certain things, because I know that's hitting you. You know what I mean? It causes stress, but we'll deal with that. Yeah, so if there's no other questions, we're going to say shalom to y'all online. We appreciate y'all joining us. If you're able, make the sacrifice, make the trip, come down, be here in Houston. Even for y'all Trinidad and Tobago, man, for y'all out there, if you can do it beforehand, and come down here, get your training so that you can be teachers, so you can be leaders and things like that. And we can even, you come down here, get in the process and be sent back to your nation to go ahead and do that. That's another way to do. Though we were thinking we should do this too. We still gonna try. We're gonna be making our way out there. So, but that's another thing that we're trying to see is if y'all put forth that sacrifice, man, be around, because there's a lot of things that you miss just being online. All right, you missed the Sabbath ceremony in the morning. You missed the after the part. You miss all that when you're just online. So if you can make that sacrifice, be amongst your brothers and sisters, man. See the people and be able to look them in the eye and see the people that's fighting and doing these things to get this message to you. All right, then that'd be good too. But with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.